PCN presents the PIAA State Baseball Championships. From Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg, it's the champions of the East, the Southern Columbia Tigers, against the Western champions, the Sharpsville Blue Devils. Good morning and welcome to Riverside Stadium on City Island in Harrisburg. I'm Steve Degler, joined today by Randy Stevens for the Class A Baseball Championship in Pennsylvania. Great matchup between Southern Columbia and Sharpsville. And when you talk about Southern Columbia, you start with their great senior pitcher, Ryan Kiefer.
Well, he is outstanding. He's a kid who can bring it as much as 92 miles an hour. He's got great movement on his fastball, and it shows. He's been drafted by the Baltimore Orioles, their 13th selection in this most recent draft. He's going to be a handful for the Sharpsville team to handle today.
When you look at Sharpsville, it's kind of a different scenario pitching-wise. They don't have that one ace that Southern Columbia has in Kiefer. They're going to start with Jeff Donatelli, but he likely won't finish this one.
Well, he probably won't. Matt Fleischer, who is a left-hander, probably will get in there. They'd like to get 2 innings out of Donatelli, maybe run somebody else in the game if he struggles a little bit. But Fleischer's the guy they want out there for the last 4 or 5 innings. Very tough pitcher to hit. Should be an excellent pitching matchup in this championship game.
Fleischer, a guy who will throw an occasional knuckleball from the left side. And when you look at the offenses, which there might not be a whole lot today, but both these teams like to grind it out and move base runners along.
Well, Sharpsville a little bit more proficient in terms of hitting. They like to slap the ball around. They'll use all fields. Southern Columbia likes to manufacture runs. And hey, when you got a guy like Kiefer out on the mound, you don't need many runs to win most games.
One day, Ryan Kiefer could be pitching in this ballpark as a professional. Baltimore's Double-A team, the Bowie Bay Sox, plays here against the Harrisburg Senators, but today he tries to win a state championship for Southern Columbia. We'll have the starting lineups for you in just a couple of moments.
Montgomery County Community College, which is situated outside of Philadelphia, is partnering with the Pennsylvania Cable Network to provide high-quality telecourse options to citizens throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you're not aware of what telecourses are, you need to simply think about Ken Burns' documentaries, such as the Civil War, baseball. High-quality, informative, very interesting, and it's an easy, convenient way for a citizen to take one of our college courses. What's nice about this format is that you can enroll in these courses and complete them in the comfort of your own home and when your schedule permits. Also, we have an 800 number that provides you with such services as financial aid information, advising, counseling. You can even order your books through 800 number. We encourage you to call us and see how you can be successful taking courses, credit courses, with our telecourse program.
Hello, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We're delighted to join with you in celebrating high school athletics in the Commonwealth. Everything that we do here at PCN, from our daily coverage of the General Assembly to programs exploring manufacturing, from carriage of significant Pennsylvania events to our satellite distribution across the state, all of this is made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies which carry our network on their channel lineup. Often at PCN, we'll list the names and service areas of local cable TV providers. These are the community-minded companies which voluntarily pay a monthly fee to cover network programming and operating costs. PCN receives no state funding. We are supported instead through the generosity of cable systems which make PCN available to their subscribers. In watching high school sports on PCN, we hope you'll remember the commitment of Pennsylvania cable television companies. They're the ones that make this network and today's programming possible.
Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour interactive call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12. State-certified teachers will work through math and science questions with students.
5x times 3 gives you 15x. And Jesse, what do you get if you add the 2x and the 15x together?
17x.
That's exactly what you want.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sundays beginning September.
I'm James J. Duratz of the Pennsylvania Cable Network, and I'm here with my wife Helene today because we have some exciting news on the sports program. And Helene, I got to tell you that I'm really shocked that you're here to talk about sports because you're constantly complaining about too much sports on programs and you can't get me to do anything.
Well, Jim, would you like me to give you an explanation to that?
Yes, I would.
In my view, too many sports events today are based on salaries and other cash considerations. There is no spirit. With these high school championship games, and remember, Jim, we'll be viewing the telecast of the girls' events for the first time.
Yep.
You see spirit, enthusiasm, the desire to win, just good fellowship at its very, very best.
And remember, Helene, this is the championship games we're talking about, and it could be the last hurrah for so many of these young men and women to represent their schools.
That's a very interesting point, Jim. Why don't we take this opportunity to invite our good Pennsylvania friends to join us in viewing the championship games of both our young men and women on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN.
Sounds like a wonderful idea, Helene.
Good, we'll see you all there.
And now, PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
Varsity assistant Mike Barrett.
We're back at Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg, right on City Island in the Susquehanna River, as we're getting set for the PIAA Class A State Championship in baseball. Southern Columbia out of the east taking on Sharpsville out of the west. Right now we're going to join public address announcer Bob Schellenberg with the announcement of the starting lineups for today's championship game.
Batting third and pitching, number 14, Jeff Donatelli. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 25, Glenn Morris. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 11, Matt Fleischer.
Yep.
Batting sixth and catching, number 23, Brad Miller. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 18, Jack Hardesty. Batting eighth, center fielder, number 9, Rich Skibo. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 15, Jeff Watson. And playing second base, number 2, Brandon Pavone. And the remainder of the Sharpsville Blue Devil squad. And now, let's meet Southern Columbia. Tigers head coach, Randy Young.
Good point.
Varsity assistant, Devin Knorr. Varsity assistant, Gary Wilson. And now, the starting lineup for the Tigers. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 16, Brett Meyer. Batting second and pitching, number 5, Ryan Kiefer. Batting third, number 17, first baseman, Matt Porter. The cleanup hitter for the Tigers, third baseman, number 18, Jason Mills. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 13, Matt Caskey. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 11, Justin Adams. Batting seventh and catching, number 8, Mark Wojtovich. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 3, Paul Nadarchek. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 4, Jason Brobst. And playing second base, number 6, Matt Murdoch. And the remainder of the Southern Columbia Tiger squad. Your championship umpires. Working behind the plate, Ted Opagard. Umpiring at first base, Terry Deal. Second base umpire, Ross Chanou. And umpiring at third base, Jim Droz. Your PIAA statewide baseball rules interpreter and supervisor of officials, Marty Androvic.
At Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg, a beautiful Monday morning, temperature in the low 60s. The wind is blowing out to left field, which is usually the case here at Riverside Stadium. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, and right now everyone here at Riverside Stadium rising for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early dawn what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes sang bright songs through the perilous fight. All the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were there, the bombs were singing, and gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready to go in the Class A baseball championship for the state of Pennsylvania. It is Sharpsville, the visiting team from the West, a record of 19-4 under head coach Kirk Skerpa. Take a look at the Sharpsville starting lineup. Donatelli will begin as the pitcher. As we mentioned in the open, Fleischer eventually will be in there. Fleischer also a good hitter with a pair of home runs so far in the playoffs for the Blue Devils, who are from Mercer County. The school district touches the Ohio border out in western Pennsylvania. Southern Columbia out of the East enters today with a record of 22-3. Randy Young is the head coach for the Tigers, and that's the guy everybody is talking about. A 13th round pick of the Baltimore Orioles a couple of weeks ago, right-hander Ryan Kiefer, who is 7-2 on the season with a 1.09 ERA, and the numbers are just amazing. He has struck out 128 batters in 77 2/3 innings, and you get a good pitcher in a tournament like this, and a lot of times you'll find yourself in a championship game, Randy.
And one of the keys to his pitching here today is he has had 6 days of rest. They thought these championship games were going to be played on Friday. With the fact that they're being played on Monday, that gives him the additional couple of days. And at this time of the year, considering how many innings he has pitched this season, that's extremely important because he is extremely well rested.
Would have been tough to play here on Friday simply because the Harrisburg Senators were playing here over the weekend against the Bowie Bay Sox. As we mentioned, Team Kiefer someday could be playing for. Bowie is the Baltimore Orioles AA affiliate in the Eastern League, and if he does not come to terms with the Orioles, he will play Division I baseball next year at Gardner-Webb, which will be a first-year Division I program in North Carolina.
And the key to Ryan Kiefer this afternoon, or this morning, I guess we're still in the morning hours, is he's going to be so pumped up. You have a state championship game. He has to settle himself in very quickly, try not to overthrow the fastball, and he's got such great natural ability. It's just a matter of letting that take over.
At Riverside Stadium, it is 330 feet down each foul line, 400 feet to straightaway center. You'll see multiple billboards in the outfield. That first set of billboards, the bottom row, is the home run fence. The second and third sets around this ballpark are out of play. If they hit those upper billboards, it is a home run. And as we mentioned earlier, the wind, as it normally does here, blowing downriver out to left field. This, in terms of a minor league ballpark, there you see the billboards. They're actually behind the outfield fence. This is a great hitter's ballpark for the AA guys who play here.
And the ball carries exceptionally well, especially if you get it up in the air to left field.
Heard the umpires, Ted Opegard calling the balls and strikes, Terry Deal at first, Ross Chanou at second, James Droz at third. And we are underway in the Class A state championship. Fastball on the outside corner for Ryan Kiefer. To the leadoff batter, Justin Napotnick. And these are the postseason numbers you're going to see for the Sharpsville players. He's looking which he did in the Eastern Final against Riverside, a game he won 2-1, allowing an unearned run and striking out 10 in his 7 innings. He's getting that call out there. It's going to be a long day for Sharpsville.
Well, he's throwing some smoke already with great location.
His catcher is a freshman, Mark Wojtovich, and you saw him asking for the ball up high there. Amazing, a freshman catcher playing in a state championship game.
Well, that's a position of leadership, and you really need somebody to control the rest of the players out there. And a freshman normally, as he misses with that pitch, usually leads a couple of years just to get some seasoning to know what to do. And you can see him looking into the dugout right now. They're calling all of the pitches from the dugout, as most high school programs do.
Usually that seasoning's at the JV level.
Yeah, for sure.
Up the middle, great diving stop by Myers. And the throw is wild. It gets away from Porter at first, and on his way to second is Napotnik, and he's in scoring position to start the ball game. That'll be an infield single for Napotnik, and a throwing error on the shortstop Myers, who makes a great play up the middle.
And he hit the ball hard. A lot of confidence here up the middle. Great play as Myers will come over, diving headlong for it, but has to scuffle up to his feet. Had a little trouble getting it out of the glove and simply threw it by. I think a good accurate throw, and he might have been out at first base. That could be a 2-base error.
They're going to go infield single and an error. Myers on his way to IUP next year to play for the Indians with a tremendous stop, but as Randy mentioned, maybe when he couldn't get the ball out of his glove. You're in a championship game, it's early, you have some extra jitters, and he threw the ball away. Jason Scott will try and move the runner over, and Kiefer again gets ahead. 0-1 the count.
One of the things that's important here this afternoon is you've got to stress fundamentals. You've got to be able to move runners along, because in a great pitching matchup, runs are at a premium.
Matt Porter at first, very shallow. Looks like a fast pitch softball first baseman. And that's why, because of the bunt. Kiefer with a great play, and the runner cannot move up. The ball was bunted so hard back to the mound that Napotnik realized he would be out at third, so he held his ground.
And here's where adrenaline pays off in the early going. He ends up on his knees as he slips down. He looks at the runner, looks him back to second base, and from his knees throws about a 70-mile-an-hour pitch to first base.
That's wise base running by Justin Napotnik, as Kirk Skirpa in the third base coach's box took over this program about 10 years ago at a time when he said his team struck out 15 or 16 times a game. Jeff Donatelli, the starting pitcher, takes a curveball for a strike, and that is a good curveball that Kiefer has.
And especially when you have to look fastball with him on the mound, that curveball just gets you all off balance.
Napotnik's on second with one away, no score in the first. Keep in mind, in high school, it is 7 innings, and the 10-run rule is in effect. 1-1 the counts, and also there is a DH, and the DH can bat for anybody in the lineup, unlike in the minor leagues and the American League, where he can only bat for the pitcher.
And most of the time, they do not DH for the pitcher. The pitcher generally is one of your better hitters.
A lot of times will find himself at shortstop when he's not pitching. Well, that's a nasty curveball he has.
He really broke it off that time. And again, the difference between an 88 to 90-mile-an-hour fastball and trying to hit this thing. Look at the drop on this ball and just way out in front of it.
That is a tremendous break on that pitch. You can see early why the Orioles drafted him. That just misses. 2-2 the count.
Take another look at this pitch, and this thing trying to spot that ball on the outside. That's a Greg Maddux type of strike. Of course, called the ball here, as it should be.
Glenn Morris on deck for the Blue Devils. Justin Adams under this one in right. Napotnik tagging, but he will stay right there, and that's 2 down in the first inning.
With a great pitcher on the mound like Ryan Kiefer, Steve, what you like to do early in the game is take a lot of pitches and get an idea what he can throw and how fast the ball is coming in the break. And so far, Sharpsville has been able to do that a little bit, and that'll be important the second time around the order.
And you also try to get to him early, because many good pitchers become better as the game wears on, especially when they can smell victory.
And the thing you have to like about Kiefer so far, he looks very composed out on the mound. He's very relaxed. He's not rushing, taking his time in between pitches.
Glenn Morris hitting .273 in the postseason. Fouls one to the screen, and What you have to like about Kiefer, Randy, is he has gone 0-1 to all 4 batters. It's very important to throw that first pitch strike.
Well, you don't want to fall behind in the count because hitters can then begin to look for pitches, and if they're wrong, they can take a strike. When you're behind in the count, you can't afford to do that.
Napotnick on second. He was there with nobody out, still there with 2 down. No score in the first. Nice pickup by Wojtovich on the curve in the dirt, keeping Napotnick at second. It's a ball and a strike.
You know, you mentioned head coach Skurpa from Sharpsville saw his kids striking out 15 and 16 times a game when he took over the program, and they like to put the ball in play, and that's especially important with a guy like Kiefer. You don't overswing. You just try to make contact and let the rest take care of itself.
Morris taps this curveball, foul. Down the third base side. He was out in front. 1-2 the count to Morris, who next year will be at Cornell playing baseball for the Big Red. There's Kirk Skurpa, who has several of his seniors going to college to play baseball next year. He was a pretty good college player himself, a pitcher at Slippery Rock, pitched in the 1989 Division II College World Series.
And he has that pitcher's demeanor about him, too. Somebody said to us he used to play, guess what? He was a pitcher.
Could have sworn he was a left-hand. He said he was a right-hand. Sure acts like one of those lefties. 1-2 the count. Kiefer on his way to the dugout. Thought he had strike 3, but Ted Opegard said it was outside for a ball. Watch Kiefer disappear from your screen here. Oops. There's Ted Opegard, 4-man crew here for this championship game. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Morris. There's Kiefer's first strikeout of the game with a good curveball on the outside corner. No runs, a hit, 1 error, and 1 left after 1/2 at Riverside Stadium. Sharpsville nothing, and Southern Columbia coming to the plate. We're going to give you a look at the Southern Columbia starting lineup of head coach Randy Young. Notice Kiefer batting very high in the order. As Randy mentioned, a lot of times your pitcher, one of your better hitters, and Kiefer certainly is that. He had a home run in the Eastern Finals. Caskey hitting 5th, batting over 400 this year, as is Brobst, who is the left fielder. He is in the number 9 spot. Murdoch is not hitting. He is the one being DH for, but Brobst in the state tournament has been outstanding. A 4 RBI game in the opener against Hanover, and the game-winning runs batted in against Christopher Dock and against Riverside.
And in high school baseball, not unusual to have your pitcher batting that high. Kiefer originally listed as a 3rd hitter. Not a bad idea to move him up to 2nd, try to get him an extra at bat if it's warranted, if it comes down to that. And you know, oftentimes your pitcher is your best athlete. Your pitcher, your shortstop, your first baseman. And what will happen is you'll play first base if you are pitching, so you don't have to make any other throws. And obviously that's what's happening this afternoon with Sharpsville, as we'll see in just a little while. Matt Fleischer, probably about the 3rd inning, moved from first base to pitcher. And here we've got Donatelli, who is your starter this afternoon, and his job very simple. He's almost like a closer starting the game. He figures he's going to go 2 innings. You see the rather high earned run average, and the key here for Sharpsville is they just want to get either Donatelli or any combination of pitchers to get them to the 3rd inning, and then they'll be in good shape.
And then that guy, Matt Fleischer, is going to take over, throwing the fastball, curve, the knuckleball, and the circle changeup. That's quite a combination for a lefty. But Donatelli has only thrown 4 1/3 innings in the postseason, giving up 8 runs, 4 of them earned. He has also walked 5, so control will be a factor. He needs to come out and throw strikes because he's only going to be out there for a couple of innings.
And Steve, how much fun is it for these kids to be out here this afternoon? They're contesting a state championship. They're in the capital city of Pennsylvania on a professional field here in Harrisburg, City Island in Harrisburg, and just how much these are memories that these kids will relive for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. They may never be in a setting like this, in a ballpark like Riverside Stadium again. Donatelli starts Brett Myers off with a curveball. Myers, pretty good season, I would say, at 5.07. Certainly he'll fit right into IUP next year in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Talked about control. Donatelli comes out and falls behind 2-0.
And again, you have to be so pumped up. You're out there on the mound for the first time in a state championship game, and you want to get that first strike in there, and there it is.
That should help him relax a whole lot more. 3-1 to Myers as he tries to get on to start things here in the first. Southern Columbia beat Hanover 12-0 in the first round. Hanover, the District 3 champs, featuring Mark Phillips, a first-round pick of San Diego. And there is ball 4 to Myers.
And of course, the key is in this first inning for Southern Columbia is take pitches, get men aboard, try to peck away, get some runs on the board. It may not take a whole lot of runs to win this game with Ryan Kiefer pitching for you if you're the Tigers.
Pretty good bet Myers will be running. He has stolen 23 bases this year. He has not been caught. 23 for 23. Here is the pitcher Kiefer, who had an opposite field home run in the win over Riverside. He's up there to bunt. And it's a foul ball.
And you tend to see that a lot more in high school baseball than you do at the college level or obviously at the professional level. Fundamentals are stressed. They bunt a lot more. Almost any time a guy is at first base, unless you're in the heart of the order with your 3 or 4 hitters, you're usually looking to move the runner along.
Taking a good look at Randy Young at third. There's the runner Myers on first. Move that way, and Myers dives back on a close play. They beat Hanover 12-0. I mentioned Mark Phillips, the 9th overall pick in this year's draft in the first round by San Diego. Then they took care of District 1 champ Christopher Dock 5-4 and District 2 champ Riverside 7-4.
And Riverside was undefeated, I believe, at the time. And here's a stolen base. No, they got him. He came off the base.
Yeah, Myers came off the base on the head-first slide, and second base umpire Ross Chanou right there with the call for out number 1. Throw is high, and Myers is under the tag, but he can't stay on the base.
Yeah, he's got the base, and he just slipped off. There you see him trying to reach back and doesn't get there and is tagged out. That's a tough play for Southern Columbia. He had the base stolen.
It's now 2-1 to Kiefer. Sometimes when you go in head first, it is very difficult to keep that hand on the bag when you're going at full speed. Kiefer back through the middle. Pavone makes the play for out number 2.
And it gives everyone on the field a whole lot of confidence when that ball is hit to you the first time and you're able to make the play. This is a fairly routine ground ball, but nothing is routine the first time you touch a ball in a championship game, and makes the play cleanly and a good strong throw to first base. There's 2 outs.
And your point in the top of the inning is well taken when you say you just want to put the ball in play, preferably on the ground. There are no bad hops in the sky, but you put the ball on the ground and the defense has to make a play to get you out. Matt Porter, a .338 hitter, takes one up and in. No score, bottom of the first. The Class A championship from Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg. First of a triple header today. Good fastball by Donatelli. Had some movement on that. 1-1 the count.
It's the old adage, you want your fielders to make the plays behind you. Just put the ball in play and let your fielders do the rest. And both of these teams fairly solid in terms of fielding.
And that's why they're out there, to help out the pitcher. 2-1 the count. Sharpsville beat District 7 runner-up Rochester in round 1. District 6 champ Homer Center in the Western semis, and then Du Bois Central Catholic in the Western finals, 13-11. Hardesty coming in, puts it away, and that'll do it for Southern Columbia here in the first. So each team gets a leadoff runner, but gets nothing out of it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left after 1. Sharpsville nothing, Southern Columbia nothing.
Boys who were my schoolmates, companions of my youth, they come marching in review. Here we parted from them, here on this battle line where the blinding smoke from musketry was thickest, where this hell of battle snapped their threads of life with blood-stained hands, here where their lives went out.
The Battle of Gettysburg Anniversary, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on PCN. The Pennsylvania Cable Network's daily program schedule is available by email. To take advantage of this free service, send your email address to pcntv@pcntv.com. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
back at Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg. No score after 1 inning in the PIAA Class A Baseball Championship. Sharpsville and Southern Columbia doing battle, and Ryan Kiefer allowing an infield single to lead off the first. Runner advancing on a throwing error, but then Kiefer retired the next 3 rather easily.
And a great day for a ball game. The temperature at game time was 61 degrees. And, you know, we had a lot of rain here over the weekend. It would have been tough to have played. And so far, it looks like the sky is clearing. Should be a beautiful day.
Matt Fleischer, Brad Miller, Jack Hardesty for Sharpsville in the second against Kiefer. Fleischer has 2 homers in the postseason. And you can see why with a rip like that. Not getting cheated, swinging through the fastball.
Yeah, he was coming after the first pitch no matter what. So tough to adjust for speed. When you're used to high school pitchers who throw 82, 83, then you're looking at Kiefer. It's a whole different dimension.
And then he drops that curveball on you. He missed with that one. Kirk Skerpa was telling us his team faced a couple of hard throwers last year, but you don't see it too often in high school. Fleischer with another big rip, 1-2 the count.
You may see some kids on the high school level who throw hard. You may get guys who can throw at 90 miles an hour, but not with the control that Kiefer has and not with that nasty curveball that he's got.
You can't sit on one or the other with this guy. He can make you look bad with the opposite one. Fleischer gets 3 fastballs and swings through all 3 of them. Strikeout number 2 for Kiefer.
Take another look at this fastball, and this is just pure smoke, a little bit of movement up on the zone a little bit, and awfully tough to catch up with a high fastball that's traveling at that velocity.
Kiefer with back-to-back strikeouts. Brad Miller stands in. A little bit of Jim Thome and Brad Miller there with that bat extended toward the pitcher.
And there's that curveball to start him out, and a strike. You made a very well-founded point first inning. If you don't catch up with a guy like Ryan Kiefer early, when he starts to hone in on the strike zone, he's awfully tough.
That guy knows all about it. Kirk Skerpa pitched enough games in his career to know that you got to get a guy early.
Yeah, he said his kids wouldn't be intimidated by Ryan Kiefer. He said they're not intimidated by anybody, but they're certainly concerned about him at this point.
Well, Fleischer took 3 good rips. He was up there hacking, just didn't make any contact. 2-1 now to Miller.
So pitching not only just a matter of throwing the ball as hard as you can, it's a matter of spotting your pitches, location important and movement important. That's the one thing you like about Kiefer. He has a sense of where he's going with the ball. He'll mix it up. He'll throw you the high fastball, the curve away, fastball down and in.
There's a fastball right on the outside corner. Well, watch Wojtowicz, the freshman catcher, set up. He is never in the middle of the plate. Kiefer has such great command. Looks into the dugout for the sign that he can hit those corners if he's set up out there. Goes away again.
Well, there's the fastball. I wanted him to chase the fastball, and using a very simple set of signs right now. If you see your catcher flashing the 1, you know the heater's coming. And again, looking into the dugout, they're calling all the pitches.
The only thing he might do that the freshman will learn as he gets older is setting up too early. Sometimes you can give that away. But when you have that, it doesn't really matter. Kiefer today, one of those you could say fastball outside corner and you still might not hit it. That's his 3rd strikeout. Well, that had some great sink to it. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
He has a fastball, and again, it's a matter of how you hold the pitch, a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer. He can make that thing sink with the 2-seamer, and he can also throw that high fastball. He threw one to Fleischer that he chased. That was up around the letters.
He used the 4-seamer for a straighter fastball with a little more velocity, and the 2-seamer, it's not as hard, but it has a lot more movement. Jack Hardesty takes the curveball low and away. The Sharpsville team, as Randy mentioned in the open, can score some runs, a high of 20 in a game this year, and in double figures 4 times. Into right for Adams, and Justin toward the line makes the catch on a 1-2-3 inning for Kiefer. Scoreless after 1.5 here in Harrisburg. Let me correct that. They've been in double figures 11 times on the offensive side, and their high is 17 in their season opener. They can score some runs is the bottom line.
And the last 2 games, they've proven that to get to this championship game. They beat Homer Center by a score of 10-8, and then Du Bois Central 13-11. So they needed to score runs in that game where their pitching let them down a bit. They were able to do so. Runs a little tougher to come by here this afternoon, and we're heading for the bottom of the 2nd inning now. We'll see if Southern Columbia can get the bats rolling against Jeff Donatelli. Steve, this could be his last inning of work.
Very possible that he could go 2 and look for Fleischer to go the final 5. If you are enjoying this high school sports action, you'll love the Pennsylvania Cable Network. In addition to the baseball championships, PCN has television rights to state finals in tennis, volleyball, field hockey, soccer, football, wrestling, basketball, and softball. When you're looking for live coverage of high school sports, turn to PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
Tell you, one of the guys who always brings a smile to fans' faces here, Bob Schellenberg, the PA announcer. He does such an amazing job with the basketball playoffs, and of course he's here this afternoon doing the baseball playoffs as well.
The voice of the PIAA. See him at Hershey Park every March. That would be in the arena. He might be on the roller coaster too, I don't know, but he's in the arena for sure. Jason Mills, Matt Caskey, Justin Adams for Southern Columbia in the 2nd against Jeff Donatelli. Mills out of the cleanup spot. Randy Young has reshuffled his lineup just a little bit today from the one he has been using. Fastball just misses. It's 2-0.
And again, this is the way he started the game with Brett Myers. He was behind 2-0, walked him on 5 pitches. And one thing you don't want to do is create base runners on base on balls. You want to make them hit the ball.
2-0 curveball, and he got it over. That's a pretty good job by a pitcher if he can do that. Is Randy Young flashing the signs here. Guessing he has the hit sign on here. 2-1 with nobody out, nobody on.
I can afford to look for a certain pitch right here. The brace.
Stays with that curveball. 3-1 the count.
Now it's interesting because a lot of high school kids will not throw a 3-1 curveball. You want to go back to something that's a strike. You don't want to put anybody on. Let's see what Donatelli does here.
Fastball misses, so he has walked both leadoff batters so far. He didn't get hurt with the first one because of a caught stealing.
One of the things about walking someone to start an inning, it almost comes back to bite you 60% of the time. The Elias Sports Bureau once put out a statistic that says more innings that start with a walk produce a run than start with a hit, which is a little hard to believe.
Mills has stolen 7. He's been caught twice. Trying to sacrifice is Caskey. Pops it foul. It's 0-1. Matt having a good season as well.
And again, Steve, at the higher levels of baseball, college and pro baseball, major leagues, you almost never see your 5th hitter trying to sacrifice. But in a game where a run means a lot, they'll try to do this whenever they can.
He drops this one down nicely to 3rd. Jason Scott has 1 play. And he throws to Pavone, the second baseman covering. Sacrifice 5-4 for out number 1. Mills moves up to 2nd. And the other thing is it's only a 7-inning game. You're in the 2nd. You've got a great pitcher in Kiefer where you know 1 run might do it for you, so you play for that early run.
And the other thing is how well these kids execute the fundamentals. You don't see a lot of bunting on the AA, AAA, major league level anymore. They don't practice it. It's not a glorified kind of a thing. But on this level, it means a lot. And these kids will go out and bunt and practice the bunt because it means so much being able to move a runner over.
Justin Adams, a .355 hitter. A chance to put Southern Columbia on the board. Runner on 2nd, 1 out, no score in the 2nd. Donatelli with a change for a strike. It's 1-1. And a lot of that in the minor leagues is you don't see sacrifice bunts on SportsCenter. All you see are the home runs. Guys are swinging for the fences. They don't learn the finer points of the game.
And guys are looking to create impressions, and you don't do that by sacrificing yourself and moving a runner along. In the high school level, it means a lot more.
Donatelli hits the outside corner to even the count at 2-2. Mark Wojtovich, the freshman catcher, waits on deck. Missing a little bit high, and it's a full count. I'm interested to see what they're going to do between innings if Fleischer does come in to start the 3rd. if he's going to race right out to that left field bullpen to get some pitches in.
I would imagine he would have to.
Third walk allowed by Donatelli, puts 2 on and 1 out for Wojtovich.
And there is Matt Fleischer, and again, he has already batted in this game, so he would be able to. It would be really hard if he had to warm up and hit in the same inning. That could create a problem. Donatelli right now scuffling a little bit. He's already walked 3 men, 2 in this inning. And see, just to continue the point, not only are sacrifice bunts more at a premium, but you're not going to hit the ball out of this ballpark. So power-wise, you're a little bit limited with what you can do.
Wojtovich, you see, hitting just 206, but as a freshman catcher, they'll take that, the way he has handled the pitching staff. This one, a chance for a double play. Scott to Pavone. Throw gets away from Fleischer. Trying to score is Mills, and he will, to give Southern Columbia a 1-0 lead.
And you know that the Tigers, with Kiever on the mound, that 1 run in the bank means a whole lot. This almost turned out to be a double play, and you'll see the second baseman, perhaps knowing that he had to hurry, may have just thrown the ball early. Not the easiest play for him to handle. The throw a little bit low, and the scoop unable to be made there by Matt Fleischer, and it got away. The runner on third base almost did not break. Jason Mills a little slow to get off third base, but the ball scooted away from Fleischer far enough he was able to come in.
Courtesy runner at first is Kevin Sabocic, who will play soccer at Liberty University in the fall. He runs for Wojtovich. The batter is Paul Nazarchik, the designated hitter. 1-0 the count. It is a fielder's choice and an error on the second baseman Pavone, allowing the run to score. There goes Sabocic, and the throw is a beautiful one by Brad Miller. He cuts down his second runner of the afternoon, 2-6 to end the inning. But Southern Columbia gets a run without benefit of a hit. There was 1 error and nobody left. We're through 2 in the Class A championship from Harrisburg. The Southern Columbia Tigers 1 and the Sharpsville Blue Devils 0.
College students majoring in communications or political science, the Pennsylvania Cable Network is now accepting internship applications for all semesters. Interns gain valuable hands-on experience and network with industry professionals. For more information about PCN and internship opportunities, visit our website at pcntv.com. To apply, email your resume or send it to Pennsylvania Cable Network, 401 Fallowfield Road, Camp Hill, PA 17011. This week on PA Books, Linda Jones McKee and Richard Carey, co-authors of Pennsylvania Wineries, a guide to the state's 53 wineries, cellars, and vineyards, Sunday night at 9. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
The catcher with his second caught stealing of the ball game.
Oh, nice throw here and kind of a head-first slide and really never got to the bag. Good play by the shortstop that time, Napotnik, who was able to take the throw on the first base side of second base, and the easy tag made just a couple of feet from the bag. But Steve, I think your point very well founded. The play that produced the run as the runner coming down to second base didn't get back there. And you can see fans of every kind here this afternoon as these two schools well represented.
We're going to try and give you another look if we can, but Justin Adams, the runner from first on that ground ball to third, didn't slide and maybe affected Pavone's throw.
Look at where the third baseman Mills is, looking for the bunt to start the inning. As
Rich Skibo batting. 500 hitter in the postseason is Skibo, but the corner infielders are very shallow. Kiefer again jumps right ahead of the hitter. Off the foot of Skibo, 0-2 the count. He'll walk that one off. Let's go back to the play that produced the game's run, the chopper to third. Watch the play at second.
Well, the guy coming into second base does not slide. You'll see the play here, and you have to almost adjust your throw coming in. You see the throw going to the side, and that may have caused him to throw the ball in the dirt and throw it away. That produced a run.
That's where guys like Manny Trio, when he played for the Phillies, would throw that sidearm, and you either slide or you get drilled. Guys learn to slide in a hurry. You see that ball go whizzing by their noggin. Curveball just missing. 1-2 the count to Skibo.
One of the things about Mills playing up so close at third base is you almost know you're not going to be able to pull Ryan Kiefer, so he can gamble a little bit.
Just a little bit high to Skibo, who doesn't present a huge target. 2-2 the count.
Boy, you have to love that curveball if you're the Baltimore Orioles organization. This kid looks like a keeper.
Fastball, Picasso, painting the outside corner for his 4th strikeout.
And when you're throwing the ball this hard and with this much movement, if you get the ball out on that outer edge on the black of the plate, there's nothing you can do with it as a hitter, even if you are swinging.
You hope you can get a piece of it to foul it off. You hope against a guy like this that he either has an off day or somehow makes a mistake in the middle of the plate and you get him.
Hasn't made many so far.
Jeff Watson sees that fastball in the outside corner up close. He's batting for the first time. He has seen his teammates struggle against that pitch all afternoon.
And the other thing is a good pitcher will adapt to what the umpire is calling for a strike, and you know if you can get away. As a pitch fouled in the dirt, you know if you can get away with a pitch that's going to be called a strike about an inch or two off the plate, that's where you'll throw the ball.
When you mentioned Greg Maddux earlier in the game and Tom Glavine for the Braves, the other National League teams have complained for years about the pitches they get. The 17-inch plate becomes 21, maybe 23, 24 with those guys pitching, but they know they're going to get those calls, so they stay there. That fastball got away from Kiefer. It's 1-2.
And again, in an umpire's defense, in his mind, he's not doing that on purpose. He just has a strike zone that he's established for himself, and that ball comes in there so quickly, and it's just a reaction kind of a play.
This one is hit sharply back through the middle, and that is a base hit for Watson, the number 9 hitter, with the second hit for the Blue Devils. And he hit that ball hard right back through the box.
And number 9 hitters, what is it? You look through the 6 teams in the state championship games today, and everybody has a solid number 9 hitter who's contributed.
The other hit for Sharpsville from the man in the box right now, Justin Napotnik, an infield single to lead off the game.
And you see the sunglasses not being worn for a fashion statement, but you need them because of the glare and the way the sun is over the third base stands. That first baseman has to look right into that glare. And without those sunglasses, you could lose the ball as it comes over.
Jeff Watson has stolen 1 base in the postseason. He'll check out Kirk Skirpa in the third base coach's box to see if he is running here. See if they test that freshman catcher. Curve gets away from Wojtovich, and they won't have to. He's moving up on the play is Watson. That'll be a pass ball on Wojtovich.
And critical here for Sharpsville with a runner in scoring position down a run. You're not going to have many chances against Ryan Kiefer. You have to make do with what you're presented.
Napotnik was on second with nobody out in the first, and he stayed there as Kiefer retired the next 3. Now the tying run in scoring position here in the third with 1 away. Sharpsville, about 450 students in the high school, left yesterday morning, practiced yesterday afternoon here in Harrisburg. 2-0 the count. They had a big send-off yesterday as they left Sharpsville.
Catcher had a little trouble that time. Wojtovich coming up with the ball. He spun around, lost it momentarily. Steve, you really have to be impressed. School is over around the state of Pennsylvania now, so a lot of people already have their summer vacation plans and their plans as to what they're doing, jobs, and they've had a very nice turnout here, having to drive all that distance from the Ohio line.
Lots of blue down the left field line here today.
Get up, get up.
Kiefer with a long look, comes to the plate and drills a fastball for a strike. Jeff Watson is the runner on second, drawing the attention of the shortstop Myers and the second baseman Murdoch. Next offering for Kiefer will be his 42nd of the day. 2-1 fastball again, right on the black.
And again, a little bit of a slow call. There you can see the blue-clad fans of the Blue Devils of Sharpsville.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Napotnik. Jason Scott on deck. That fastball way upstairs. It's a full count. You can see in the view from center field the shortstop Myers trying to run in behind Watson to keep him close. What you have to make sure of as a middle infielder, though, is that you're back in position by the time Kiefer goes to the plate. Here's Myers. Short center for Caskey. And Watson will have to hold at second. 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
And normally you do not bring your 2 middle infielders each bluffing to the base. Usually it's 1 infielder. You don't want to give up the hole on the other side. And maybe they're trying to confuse the runner down at second base, but they've had both the shortstop and the second baseman heading over toward the base.
So they have the potential to have 2 players out of position. Jason Scott tried to bunt Napotnik to third, but bunted one sharply right back to Kiefer, and Napotnik wisely stayed at second. That was a very heads-up play by the base runner. Curveball misses, and maybe a big play in this game because the next batter, Donatelli, hit a fly ball to right that might have been deep enough to score the runner from third had he advanced on the bunt, but he was not able to do that.
Now you have your shortstop edging back and forth. And that's the guy that I would choose to have do it, because you figure they're not going to be able to pull Ryan Kiefer. So if your second baseman, with everybody swinging late, especially the right-handers, is out of position, that could be difficult. A ground ball could sneak through.
Wind is really picking up right now. A strong breeze blowing out to left field. Myers again coming in. Justin Adams coming on and puts it away. So another runner stranded in scoring position for the Blue Devils. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left through 2.5. Southern Columbia leads it by a score of 1-0. Randy, Southern Columbia, one of the favored teams last year, came into the Eastern semifinals undefeated and got pounded 12-1 by Camp Hill. And you got to think that experience and the determination to get back here after that disappointment last year has fueled this run by the Tigers.
Well, it's like that in any sport. You have to live a long time until the next baseball season begins, and especially the way they lost it. It's bad enough to lose a game that leads you to the state championship, but then to have an end after 5 innings because of the 10-run rule, that's a tough way to begin your summer vacation. Certainly these kids well aware of what happened last year, and they don't want it to happen again this afternoon.
And as expected, Matt Fleischer will take over on the mound for Sharpsville. The lefty on here in the 3rd. Jeff Donatelli, 2 innings, no hits. He allowed that 1 run. It was unearned. He walked 3 and struck out none. Now Fleischer, 3-0 in the postseason with a save and a 0.86 ERA. He has struck out 23 batters in 16 and a third innings and allowed just 10 hits. And as we mentioned, fastball, curveball, knuckleball, and a changeup.
And it's interesting, a left-hander with a knuckleball, that's a scary proposition right there. And you know, the ability to throw a good fastball and then come with a knuckleball, talk about a change of pace. That's about as a change as you can get. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do now. You've been looking at a right-hander who doesn't throw particularly hard in Donatelli, and now you've got to look the other way to Fleischer. So mid-game change, it was indicated that it would be so, and we'll see what Fleischer can do against this lineup for Southern Columbia.
And as a result, the defensive alignment has changed quite a bit. Jeff Donatelli will stay in the ball game, and he will play second base. Moving from second base to right field is Brandon Pavone, and moving from right field to first base is Glenn Morris. So the players stay the same, the positions change. Donatelli, now an infielder, as Fleischer comes in to do the pitching here in the 3rd.
Pretty much changed the entire right side of the field with the first baseman, second baseman, and right field changing around.
We saw Jeff Watson, number 15, in the dugout. He will remain as the designated hitter. Paul Nazarchik to lead off for Southern Columbia. He was batting last inning when Wojtovich was caught stealing for out number 3. Fleischer's fastball is on the inside corner for strike 1.
Now Fleischer will have some butterflies, as almost every pitcher does upon coming into the game, but they should be a little less because he has batted once already and he's played first base.
And he's got a pretty good curveball. Nothing into the count. Fleischer stands on the extreme third base side of the rubber. He's all the way to that third base side as he winds. It was outside. It was either the change or the knuckleball. He's off speed.
And usually you'll see that knuckleball when you get ahead in the count. That's a tough pitch to come up with. Not only is it floating around as it comes in there, but it's also much slower than the usual fastball or sharp breaking curve.
It's tough to hit. It's tough to catch if it's a good one. Chases the high fastball. Fleischer starts his day in the mound with a strikeout.
Now this is where the game should settle in now with Fleischer on the mound, the lefty, Kiefer for Southern Columbia. Now runs will really be tough to get.
Jason Brobst, batting for the first time, has had a tremendous state tournament for the Tigers. 1-0 the count, and one of the factors for Fleischer coming in this game, according to Kirk Skerpa, is all the left-handers in the Southern Columbia lineup, and Brobst one of them. 2-0 the count. You saw the 13 runs batted in. Well, he had 4 in the first state tournament game against Hanover. Knocked in the game-winning run against Christopher Dock in round 2 and against Riverside in the Eastern Final. He's ahead in the count, 3-0.
And watch when Matt Fleischer, just before he releases the ball, he has a little hitch in his delivery, a little hesitation out there, and that makes it awfully tough to pick up the ball. Watch right here. There's that hesitation. That leg kind of stays up in the air. And he delivers a strike, 3-1.
A lot of deception in that motion. Here's a good look at it. Try to hide that ball as long as you can.
Good leg drive out there by Fleischer, so important for a pitcher.
Battles back to make it a full count against the sophomore, Jason Brobst. Sharpsville, a much more senior-oriented team. 9 seniors for the Blue Devils. There's some underclassmen for Southern Columbia.
A lot of experience for Sharpsville. You got a lot of guys who were champions at age 13 in various leagues, and they would like to be champions on the high school level here today.
And they played in state championship as 9 and 10-year-olds, and then, as Randy mentioned, senior division all-stars as 13-year-olds. So they're together for their 3rd state championship opportunity.
It builds a lot of character, and of course the experience of having won. You know what it takes to get there. We'll see if they can this afternoon. Look how close Brobst is right up on home plate as he kind of leans in a little bit.
Concentration from Fleischer, but he misses and walks Brobst. So 4 of the first 9 Southern Columbia hitters have walked. The Tigers are still looking for their first hit, but they lead 1-0. Brobst has stolen 7 bases. He has been caught twice. See if they test Miller again. He's 2 for 2 today, throwing out base stealers. Back to the top of the order, and Brett Myers.
The Tigers love to run, and this will be an interesting matchup. Brad Miller has made 2 strong throws.
Misses a little bit low to Myers. Brett with one of those 4 walks, his first time up.
Randy Myers, a busy guy down there flashing signs. You see players looking down there.
Fleischer with a move, and he's been called for a balk. First base umpire Terry Deal calls him for a balk. And Kirk Skerpa is going to come out of the dugout and talk with plate umpire Ted Opegard first, and then head out to first base and chat with Terry Deal about why this was a balk.
And again, there's that almost imaginary line where if you're a left-hander, depending on where your leg is, if your leg is in a certain spot, you have to come home. And what this is they're just going to make the first base umpire justify exactly what he did. See him indicating with the leg? what he's basically indicating is the leg was coming home and he threw to first base, and that is a balk.
That's exactly what Terry Deal just motioned. He picked that right leg up and then moved it toward an imaginary plate, and then he said the pitcher came to first, and you can't do that.
And I kind of like the civilized, refined way that in high school they come out to argue. We're so used to watching AA baseball, Major League Baseball, and you see guys storm out of the dugout, and here they just kind of walk out and have a nice conversation. Really what Skerpa wanted to know is what did he do, and basically so he could instruct the pitcher, Fleischer, here's what you did.
You're supposed to step directly toward first. Directly is a loose term there because there's a lot of leeway for left-handers.
Yeah, the great left-handed pickoff guys get away with murder.
Andy Pettit comes to mind for the Yankees.
Carlson years ago comes to mind as the all-timer.
Absolutely.
But in high school, they tend to enforce it a little bit more, and also pitchers are not as adept at going to first base as they are in the later ranks.
Well, the other thing is, in regular season, you only have 2 umpires, and it's very difficult in a 2-man crew to call that balk on a lefty. It's much easier with 4. That's cued off the end of the bat foul. 1-1 to Myers.
Well, of course, now you don't need a stolen base. You don't need a sacrifice in getting the man to second base. What they'd like to do is get him over to third.
Kiefer, the pitcher, waits on deck. One of the top hitters for the Tigers. Good curveball, but just missing. 2-1 the count.
And again, trying in your very first inning of work to hone that curveball in there to find out what you have to do to snap it in for a strike. Sometimes your fine-tuning not as good.
3-1 now to Myers.
And especially with the layoff that these kids have had, most of them have waited 6-7 days to play this game, and sometimes you're a little rusty as a pitcher. It's not a question of getting too much rest, it's just a question of losing your effectiveness.
Myers rips one to center field for a base hit. Skibo has it on one hop. Throw to the plate is cut off, and Southern Columbia leads it 2-0 on the RBI single by Myers, scoring Brobst.
Well, it took 10 batters to get the first base hit of the day against Sharpsville pitching, but coming through is Brett Myers with a solid single up the middle. He just kind of hung a curveball out over the plate, and he rips it into center field, and no hesitation coming around third base that time for Brobst. He was going all the way.
Skibo's throw cut off by Fleischer as it was offline, and Southern Columbia has grabbed a 2-0 lead. Only 1 out here in the third. Here's Ryan Kiefer. Curveball nearly hits him. Fleischer with an ERA under 1 in the postseason has given up a run here in his first inning of work.
And again, no matter what the situation is, ahead 2-0, the bunt is always in order, even with your number 2 hitter right here. You're always looking to get a guy into scoring position.
Step off move this time, and Fleischer just lobs one over there. Now you can fake the throw to first if you step off the pitching rubber. There goes the runner. Kiefer to left center. Hardesty on the run, makes a fine catch. Myers has to re-tag second and make it to first, and he will do so easily as the throw is offline. Good base running by Myers, realizing he had to retouch the bag on his way back to first.
And a nice running catch by Hardesty. That could have been trouble when it left the bat. Going the other way here, a pitch up around shoulder level, and watch Hardesty come racing over into the gap. A fine running catch. That saved all kinds of trouble.
His throw, though, in a hurry, was offline. Had Myers not retouched second, they could have appealed that, and he would have been called out.
And you could see Napotnik, the shortstop, immediately indicating where to throw the ball. They knew that runner had already gone around second base. Good heads-up play by your shortstop.
Matt Porter popped one to Hardesty's glove, his first time up. 2 outs in the third, 2-0 Southern Columbia. Myers on the move again. Pitch is low, throw is not in time, and he goes in feet first this time and is able to stay on the bag, unlike in the first inning when he couldn't keep the hand on second base.
Well, that's actually his second stolen base of the day. The problem was the first time, as you mentioned, he went in head first, his hand came off the base, and this time he gets in there, makes absolutely certain.
That was close because he actually slid by the bag with his feet and then grabbed it with his hand. 2-0 the count, now 3-0 to Porter.
It's a good point, and oftentimes you want to slide right for that bag. You want the bag to break your slide as you come in. If you try to slide by it, that shortstop can take a late throw and still tag you out.
Absolutely. His feet went right by the bag, and he almost came off the base again. Taking all the way in the 3-0 is Porter, 3-1 the count.
Southern Columbia has done a great job in working the count in this game. They've gotten ahead in the count, and they've been very selective with the pitches they have swung at. They have only one hit in the game, but they've already drawn 4 walks, and here you have a hitter, Porter, ahead 3-1.
Catcher Brad Miller went out to talk to Fleischer as Randy Young in the third base coach's box sees his team up 2-0 in the third with his ace on the mound. Good fastball, makes it a full count to Porter.
How important is pitching to baseball and any of the other major sports? When you have a team that is superior to another, they'll normally win in a basketball game or a football game, but it doesn't apply in baseball. If your pitching is good that day, you can beat anybody, even with a lesser team.
Saw lots of traffic out there at second. Skibo, the center fielder, puts it away to end the inning. Southern Columbia tacks on another run on just 1 hit, no errors and 1 left. After 3, Southern Columbia 2, Sharpsville nothing in the Class A state championship game from Harrisburg.
Election 2000 on PCN. The presidential campaigns are focused on winning Pennsylvania. Governor Tom Ridge is a possible vice presidential choice. Pennsylvania's U.S. Senate seat and House races are being targeted nationally. The state row offices of Attorney General, Auditor General, and Treasurer will be decided in November. PCN follows the candidates through your town. Election 2000 on PCN, Pennsylvania's campaign network. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
From City Island, looking across the Susquehanna to the state capital of Harrisburg, as Riverside Stadium, the home of the Harrisburg Senators, the 4-time defending Eastern League champion in AA, hosting the PIAA State Baseball Championships today. Triple header. We're in game 1, the Class A final, going to the 4th inning. Southern Columbia with 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. Sharpsville, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. Ryan Kiefer has thrown 47 pitches in his 3 innings of work, walking none and striking out 4. He'll face the heart of the Sharpsville order in the 4th, Jeff Donatelli, Glenn Morris, and Matt Fleischer.
And without striking out hitters in this game, the balls that have been put into play, almost everything has been on the right side. Look through the order. You have a couple of drives out to right field, a drive to right center field, so they're not getting around on Kiefer. They do have 2 hits so far.
Kiefer has done a nice job of mixing his fastball and his curve and living on the outside corner. Wojtovich sets up again. It's 2-0. One of the few times Kiefer has fallen behind today.
I guess you know what Ryan Kiefer is going to be doing with his summer vacation, assuming he signs with the Orioles. Probably be down in the Gulf Coast League pitching for the Orioles club down there.
This one hit well to left field. Jason Brobst broke in. Now he has to race back, and the wind carries it over his head and all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Donatelli. He is going to start the 4th inning with a sliding triple to left center.
Donatelli becomes the first man this afternoon to pull Ryan Kiefer, and he hit this ball right on the money, out on the inner edge of the plate, got around on it nicely, and the left fielder, Brobst, may have made a mistake, headed the wrong way, tries to atone here with a diving attempt, and just wasn't able to get it.
Donatelli's 2nd triple of the postseason, and once that ball got up in the wind blowing out to left field, I mean the flag's straight out to left, and that ball carried very well.
It's tough for a professional player when the Harrisburg Senators play here to judge that win, because it is very tricky when you're on the field for the first time. As we see, the 50th pitch was not his best one.
Glenn Harris takes one high and away for ball one. Very shallow at first is Porter against the cleanup man Morris. Now they're going to have him back off a little bit. You see him moving back to the edge of the grass. That call came from the first base dugout. 2-0 the count.
And they give this guy a lot of room in left center field. The center fielder, Caskey, well over into right center field. There's a huge gap. You can take a look there as we'll swing across.
Fastball right on the outside corner. That's a great 2-0 pitch right there.
Good location that time. Don't want to give these hitters anything that they can handle, and that pitch on the outside, no way is anybody going to be able to hit that.
Southern Columbia with a 2-0 lead here in the fourth. Sharpsville threatening. Now Kiefer has fallen behind 3-1. Donatelli got things going here, and he is trying to rally the troops.
And with a 2-0 lead, you just don't want to put any more runners on. You want to concentrate on the batter. If the guy from third scores, so be it. Don't want to create more headaches for yourself.
Ooh. Could cut it a fastball. Morris didn't get it. It's a full count.
And again, the location is so critical on the outer edge of the strike zone. If you hang that ball up over, no matter how hard you're throwing, they'll catch up with it. And really an unhittable pitch.
3-2 delivery. Right back to Kiefer. He gave him a curveball, and he holds the runner and gets out number one at first. 3-2 curveball.
And a good one, too. The fact that a kid would try a pitch like this, that ball right off the end of the bat, and a nice play as Kiefer, aware of the runner at third, looked him back and then makes the strong throw over to first.
Well, you're exactly right that he would come with a 3-2 curve. Shows the confidence and the ability in that pitch.
And again, if you're a hitter up there 3-2, you have to be looking fastball out away. And that curveball, you'll be out in front of it and usually hit it right off the end of the bat. That's what happened.
Matt Fleischer struck out on some high heat his first time, and I'm sure he'll get much of the same here. And that's exactly what pitch number one is, a fastball for a strike.
So he goes inside to start him, and now let's see if he goes back outside or maybe throws him a curveball out away. Try to keep the seed of doubt in the hitter's mind.
With a 2-run lead, the infield can stay back. That one gets away from Wojtovich. Donatelli stays at third, though. A ball and a strike to count. And for Donatelli, down by 2, you can't risk that.
Says a lot, too, for Wojtovich. You have a guy who's going to be a professional baseball player like Ryan Kiefer, the high draft pick by the Orioles, and to entrust things in the hands of a freshman catcher. Normally, you might want someone with some experience, so Kiefer definitely has a lot of confidence in Wojtovich's abilities.
Ball and a strike. Fleischer sending it straight back. 1-2 the count. Fleischer going to Ohio University in the fall. Mentioned Morris to Cornell. Donatelli to Slippery Rock.
Sharpsville not too far from the Ohio border, just a couple of miles. There's Donatelli at third.
Fleischer gets a piece of that curveball to stay alive. Gets the first curve he has seen. First time up, it was all fastballs.
And again, for a hitter to be able to make the adjustment, you're not going to be able to put that ball in play very hard. So the key is just get a piece of it and stay alive to do battle for another pitch.
Southern Columbia leads 2-0 in the top of the fourth. There's the base runner for Sharpsville. Donatelli on third after a leadoff triple. Now one down in the inning. Fleischer lays off that fastball. 2-2 the count. Folks from Catawissa wanted strike 3 right there.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a ball, but very close. Just tailed away at the last moment.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Back with the curve, and he got it.
Oh, great pitch.
Strikeout number 5 for Kiefer.
This kid has a major hook. Watch this pitch. Not only is it curving and drops down, and just there's nothing you can do. The batter just at the mercy that time of Ryan Kiefer. That's as good a pitch as he has thrown all afternoon.
It's what the old-timers call Uncle Charlie, that curveball. So now it is up to Brad Miller to get Sharpsville on the board. Fastball is high to Miller. He was one of the 5 strikeout victims, his first time up.
Well, leadoff triple and still there with 2 outs, and Kiefer can see his way clear of the inning if he can get Miller.
Changeup, got it over. Hasn't thrown many, and that was a pretty good one too.
And again, you can throw a third pitch up there. It gives the hitter one more thing to think about, and it gets pretty scary when you can do that. He is one fine pitcher, Ryan Kiefer.
There's that curveball. Oh, man, is that a nice pitch. Hitters don't think so, but baseball fans can appreciate it. Look at the break in that. See those knees buckle?
Yeah.
Oh, he gave some ground.
You're looking fastball, and all of a sudden you see a pitch that's at a different speed and with movement on it.
And then he gets the fastball in the outside corner. Strikeout number 6 for Kiefer, and he allows a leadoff triple and strands the runner on third. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. After 3 1/2, it is still 2-0 Southern Columbia with the lead.
And that's got to be a dagger right there to the Blue Devils, because you get that leadoff man to third. You've got to find a way to get him in. You know you're not going to be able to get too many opportunities against Kiefer. They've only had 2 men in scoring position in this game.
117 cable systems representing 2.6 million homes and 9 million state residents. That's today's television audience for the PIAA Baseball Championships. A big hello to all the family, friends, and fans in the Commonwealth associated with this state tournament final.
I want to tell you, we'll be having some other games here today as well. The Class AA final should be a beauty. And where's your hat, Steve?
I left mine at home.
Checked it at the door, right?
Yep.
Greencastle Antrim will take on Huntington. And then later today, the big one, the Class AAA championship. It'll be Emmaus out of the Allentown area versus North Allegheny out of the Pittsburgh area. And we'll have all these games for you right here on PCN.
Emmaus trying to make it a sweep. The girls won the softball state title on Friday in Shippensburg.
Doesn't happen very often. You think back in PIAA championships last year, a school, a Blackhawk out north of Pittsburgh, came up with the girls and boys winning the state championship, and they almost did it again this year. The girls won, but not the boys.
Southern Columbia's football team lost the state championship game back in December, and Sharpsville's football team won the state title a couple of years ago at Hershey.
Beat Riverside 10-7 in 1997. So couple of schools who have been very close battling out here this afternoon, and right now the Tigers with the edge, leading it 2-0.
Southern Columbia in the 4th inning will send Jason Mills, Matt Caskey, and Justin Adams up there against Matt Fleischer.
Now this is Fleischer's 2nd inning of work, so he's pretty honed in now with the breaking ball, and we'll see if he settles down a little bit.
He gets a fastball over to Mills. Jason scored the game's first run after that leadoff walk in the 2nd. It was an unearned run. Curve is outside. It's 1-1.
Yeah, we will not see the 10-run rule in this game. Pitching this good, you could probably play 3 games and you may not score 10 runs.
Mills, just a sophomore. Curveball just misses. 2-1 the count. Mills is sophomore. Porter's a junior. Talked about Wojtovich, a freshman, and Brobst a sophomore. 3-1 the count. It all starts with that senior pitcher, though, Kiefer.
Well, everybody is better when he's out there. You're on your toes a little bit more. You know you don't need that many runs, and just makes the program better. And again, baseball, the kind of a sport where if your pitcher is great, a lot of things fall into place.
Mills gets a 3-1 fastball, and Fleischer will put it away for the first out. It's an uncommon sight in baseball, a pitcher catching a pop-up.
And a little bit confusing for Fleischer, because with the wind taking that ball, that was not the easiest play. You have to kind of adjust to the wind. And it's not just your normal pitcher coming off the mound and catching a routine pop-up, and he almost had trouble with that.
You talk about having that dominating pitcher, and we'll mention Steve Carlton again, because in 1972, the Phillies were awful, but Carlton won 27 games. I think the team only won 58 or 59 all season.
59 games, and he won 27. I think it's the highest ratio ever by one pitcher of a team's wins, and that's what a pitcher can do. And they say the Phillies were world champs the day that he pitched.
He just couldn't pitch every day. Caskey into center for Skibo, and Rich puts it away, and that's 2 quick outs for Fleischer here in the 4th.
And remember, too, we talked about the advantage with a 6-day layoff for both clubs about having your pitcher being able to come back and start. Ordinarily, that would not happen. It's a little bit of a disadvantage to the batters because you like to see game pitching every other day. You know, it's one thing to take batting practice. It's another thing to be facing some of the best young arms in the state.
Justin Adams swings through a fastball, 0-1. Adams getting a free pass in his first trip, batting with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. Southern Columbia leading it 2-0. Fleischer looking sharper here in the 4th. Misses with the curveball. Count is even at 1-1.
And he will get stronger with that curveball. Usually you spot it a little bit better as your innings begin to mount up in a game.
Skipping out of the way of that down and in fastball is Adams. 2-1 the count. Fleischer with the fastball in a good spot, fouled off. 2-2 the count. Well, this is a magical day, and this ballpark has seen some magical moments. Go back to last September in the Eastern League Finals. Kids' dream became reality for the Senators' Milton Bradley in Game 5, the final game of the championship series against Norwich. Tough play. The second baseman Donatelli with a low throw, and it's dug out by Morris, and it's in time. Milton Bradley, a 3-2, 2-out, bottom of the 9th grand slam to give Harrisburg a 1-run lead and a victory, actually, in the Eastern League Championship. Could we see some of that magic here today in one of these 3 games? No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 4, Southern Columbia leading Sharpsville by a score of 2-0.
Tune in to PCN's High School Football Game of the Week, Friday nights beginning in September, live on PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network. The Pennsylvania Cable Network's daily program schedule is available by email. To take advantage of this free service, send your email address to pcntv@pcntv.com. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network.
Picturesque setting here in City Island, the walking bridge connecting the island to the city of Harrisburg. It used to connect to the West Shore as well, but the blizzard of '96 did a little damage to the western span of the bridge, and
just a little.
You can't use it anymore.
It is beautiful around here. City Island right out in the middle of the Susquehanna River, and just gorgeous. If you go across the bridges, you look up and down the river, the beautiful city of Harrisburg with the Capitol, and we'll take a look right now at some of the numbers for Ryan Kiefer. He has been outstanding so far.
No walks, and really the walks have been a key in Southern Columbia's offense today, as Sharpsville pitching has walked 4, and 2 of the 4 have scored. Kiefer, with 66 pitches in his 4 innings of work, will face the bottom third of the order: Jack Hardesty, Rich Skibo, and Jeff Watson. Bouncing the curveball up there. 1-0 to Hardesty. Justin Adams retired him on a fly ball his first time up.
Now 66, a little more than they would like him to throw through 4 innings, but the adrenaline has got to be such this afternoon. You know he will be out there for this entire game.
I have a feeling he's in it for the duration. 2-0 to Hardesty, though the last couple of innings he has been falling behind a couple of batters.
And sometimes that's a case of maybe getting just a little bit tired. Remember, he hasn't gone for 6 days, and maybe not that he's tired, but just kind of losing his mechanics a little bit.
Doesn't get the call there. 3-0 the count. He has been getting that pitch from Ted Opegard, but not that time.
Yeah, that was a strike early in the game throughout the first 2 or 3 innings, and if he doesn't get that, he's got to come in a little bit more, and these Sharpsville hitters will try to bunch up on the plate.
Taking all the way, Hardesty sees a fastball for a strike. It's 3-1. Well, Kiefer in the Eastern Final against Riverside, 7 innings, a complete game, 2 hits.
And he hit a home run.
He hit a home run, 1 unearned run. He struck out 10. Hardesty chases ball 4. It's now a full count.
He's a bulldog out there, even when he falls behind in the count, or even when there's a man on third with nobody out. And we'll take another look at this high fast. We've got to lay off that pitch, but it's awfully tough to figure out. It's moving so much.
Kiefer trying to come all the way back on 1 hop for Porter. Kiefer covering, and they hook up nicely for out number 1. Not a play you get to work on every day in high school. As a professional, he'll do that every day in spring training. But they did it nicely there.
And a nice toss. This was not an easy play for Porter here. Kind of an odd angle when he catches the ball. He has to kind of lead him, and watch the little sidearm toss, and nice adjustment as well by Ryan Kiefer, who caught that ball. Sometimes you're reaching for it. It can be tough as you're trying to find the bag with your foot and keep your eye on the ball.
It's a nice job by Porter because he got the ball to Kiefer before Ryan got to the bag. He had a step to look down and find first base. Well done by the first baseman. Skibo takes a curve for a strike.
And again, Steve, you talk about the fundamental plays that make a baseball game. You don't give away that extra out by converting a fundamental play, and sometimes that paves the way to victory.
So Porter with the big mitt. He got that ball out of the mitt quickly. He showed Kiefer the ball, saying, here it is, I have it, and I'm going to lead you to the bag. 2 good curveballs. Skibo in the hole, 0-2. He was called out on strikes his first time up. 1-2 the count.
You want your pitcher to have that ball a step or 2 before he gets to the bag so he can concentrate first on catching and then second on finding the bag.
Up to 75 pitches. Shortstop Myers in front of the bag for out number 2. Brett Myers on his way to IUP. Looks like he is a pretty scrappy ball player out there.
Well, he gets to all the plays. This is a fairly routine play coming to his left. He was there, positioned well, takes his time and makes the strong throw. And right now, Kiefer has retired the last 5 men in a row after that triple that led off the 4th inning.
He has given up 3 hits. Southern Columbia has just 1. Jeff Watson, 1-0 the count. He has 1 of the hits. A sharp single up the middle his first time up, and Murdoch, the second baseman, a little more to his right this time. On the outside corner again, it's 1-1. Murdoch was more straight away the first time Watson hit. Now he's toward the middle. Second baseman there, a couple of steps to the right.
And again, as the shortstop, you can afford to cheat a little bit when you have a guy who's throwing like Kiefer, because you figure not many balls are going to be pulled. So your shortstop right now, Myers, is not only in fairly shallow, but as the pitch is about to be thrown, he'll move a little bit over to second base. So he's playing in a position where you ordinarily would never see a shortstop.
It's because the fastball is harding away and the curveball is breaking away. So you don't figure to pull Kiefer all that much. 2-2 the count. You don't see many curveballs like Kiefer has in high school, especially from right-handers. You'll see some lefties who have some good curveballs. Guy's got a good package going. Full count as he's running deep counts in the middle of the ball game. 2 outs, nobody on in the 5th. Sharpsville batting, trailing 2-0. Porter can't get to that one before it goes foul. It's still a full count.
And again, the key thing to look at as the pitch count begins to mount is how his mechanics are. Sometimes you try to overthrow the ball, you get a little tired, you reach back for a little extra, and sometimes the harder you throw the ball, the more out of control you are. And want to get that leg drive and keep the mechanics well, and there it is, mechanics right behind it, right?
That's the key to pitching. You saw it there in the billboard, mechanics.
Didn't throw up the graphic, but we had it anyway.
Ooh, a half swing, and he went too far, chasing that curve way outside. Ted Opegard said Watson chased it. That is the 7th strikeout of the ball game for Kiefer. He has retired 6 in a row and 8 of the last 9. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left after 4.5. 2-0 Southern Columbia with the lead. You are watching exclusive coverage of high school championship sports on PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. PCN's public affairs programming covers state government activities and significant state events like the PIAA baseball finals. If it's important to Pennsylvania, it's important to the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
And we've got more action coming your way a little bit later this afternoon, and we see some of the guys for the next game, Greencastle Antrim and Huntington coming up here next. That'll be the Class AA championship game. And there, of course, is Greencastle Antrim, and they're the Blue Devils, too.
Look at a chance to take some infield here before Game 2, and there are batting cages outside the stadium where teams can take some BP before their games. Look into the third base dugout of the Sharpsville Blue Devils.
Bob McCool and Chuck Curlin will be along to tell you about that second game just a little while after this one is over. And then Game 3 this afternoon, the Class AAA championship game. There are some of the guys from Huntington getting ready for their moment in the sun. AAA game this afternoon features Emmaus and Northern Allegheny. That should be a good one.
Bottom of the 5th, Southern Columbia will try and pad the lead. Mark Wojtovich, Paul Nazarchik, and Jason Brobst, the bottom third of the order, against Mark Fleischer, who was in his third inning of work. Matt Fleischer, pardon me, in his third inning of work. Wojtovich, just a freshman. Chance to get a gold medal. Fleischer misses the off-speed pitch. 1-0 the count to Wojtovich.
Down the middle, Mike. Down the middle,
Southern Columbia would love to generate another run or two to give a little extra cushion to Ryan Kiefer, because you never know. Fluky things can happen late in games, and
let's go, Matt.
Offensively, they have not hit the ball well today. Only one base hit, but that was an RBI single by Brett Myers in the third inning.
Wojtovich with a two-hopper for Donatelli should be routine, and is for out number 1. Wojtovich, his first time up, hit the ground ball to third, where the Blue Devils tried to turn a double play, got the out at second, but threw the ball away at first, allowing the game's first run to score.
Here's Donatelli, who was your starting pitcher this afternoon, through 2 innings. Instead of going in and getting some ice on the arm, he's out there playing second base in the perfect throw.
Well, you can't ask for a better hop as a second baseman.
Room service.
Nazarchik, the batter. He is the designated hitter today.
Nice pitch, Matt.
Swings through the first offering from Fleischer. Nazarchik was the first one to face Fleischer back in the third, and Matt struck him out.
And that's his only strikeout so far.
There you go,
Good
Matt.
curve. That is a very sharp break, and a late break
Put him away, Matt.
to make it 0-2.
Put him away, Matt.
Yeah, this is a pitch that's really tough to spot here, as the ball coming in, all of a sudden, whoosh, breaks down, and you can really do nothing except bend the knees and hope it's not in the strike zone.
The catcher Miller wants to go out and talk to Fleischer, and Randy talked about it earlier, how Fleischer is a little deceptive. He has that little hitch in his delivery, and watch as he brings his hands up. He kind of brings the glove behind his head, and it's very difficult to pick up that release point if you're the batter.
A little bit extra deception, and then, of course, the late breaking curveball. It's really hard to see if it's going to be a curveball until the pitch is well on the way to the plate.
Fastball up and away, ball and 2 strikes the count.
Then you give that hitter a little something extra, and there is that hitch in the ball, and all of a sudden you throw that fastball, it rises, and the batter now is wondering what's coming next.
It's the curve, and it just
that
misses.
pitch.
Boy, Brad Miller, the catcher, even turned around, which you hardly ever do to an umpire, turned around as if to say, I'm ready to throw this ball to third base. It was ball 2. 2-2 the count.
You got it there. You got it.
Jams
You
him.
got it,
Lepotnik, the shortstop, makes the play for out number 2.
Well, we expected great pitching this afternoon, and we've gotten it so far. Only 4 hits in the ball game, a 2-0 lead for
1, 2, 3.
Southern Columbia, and of course errors figuring prominently. Each team has committed 1, but it really hurt the Blue Devils early in this game.
2 outs for Jason Brobst. Misses the curveball. Brobst walked in the 3rd, went to 2nd on a balk called against Fleischer, and then scored on Myers' RBI single to make it 2-0. Shows bunt, but takes a curveball very high. It's 1-1.
And it's got to be tough for Brobst up there as a left-handed hitter. You're looking at a lefty out on the mound with that sharp breaking curveball.
Too low. 2-1 the count.
Let's go, Matt.
We mentioned Brett Myers a moment ago. He's on deck. There he is. He had the RBI single in the 3rd.
Hit to the gap in left center. Falling fast, and a base hit for Brobst, who continues to have an unbelievable state tournament. He has been aboard both times today with a walk and a single, hit number 2 for the Tigers.
Again, just kind of an inside-out swing here. Got the ball up over the plate, and a little pop-up that found empty spaces. And the left fielder getting there just a little bit too late, but a clean base hit.
7 steals for Brobst on the year. He's been caught twice. 2-out runner for Brett Myers. This is a running situation with 2 outs and your leadoff man up. 1-0 to Myers, who has not been retired today.
The last time Brobst was aboard at first base, it was a running situation as well, and they forced Fleischer into committing a balk.
Fleischer with the slow leg kick and a late start for Brobst, and a good thing because it was fouled off by Myers. Even if that was hit and run, that was a very late start for the runner at first. 1-1 the count. Fleischer does not have a great ratio. I'd like to be around 2-to-1 strikes to balls, but he has pitched very well.
And also a lot of pitches, 50 for 2 2/3 innings. Timeout as the runner down there, Brobst tying his shoe.
Put him away, Matt.
2-0 in the 5th, 2 outs for Southern Columbia. Myers pops it right side. The second baseman, Donatelli, calls off Morris and makes the catch to end the inning. For Southern Columbia in the 5th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 6th in the State A Class A Championship. It's 2-0 Southern Columbia.
The Pennsylvania Cable Network's commitment to public affairs reaches beyond television. PCN's website puts you in touch with state government. Through PCNTV.com, you can find out when hearings are scheduled, read the state constitution, send email to your legislator, and link to other websites relating to Pennsylvania public affairs. Log on to PCNTV.com to read our daily program schedule. Browse PCN Vision. Post your comments on PCN's bulletin board. Learn about Pennsylvania history. Check the featured tour, book, and profile for Sunday night. Or get information on PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship sports. Our website is PCNTV.com. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
Nice crowd has turned out at Riverside Stadium in Harrisburg for Game 1 of the triple-header, and it's lunchtime.
I'll have mine medium well, thank you.
Take a break between innings, grab a burger, a hot dog, some pizza, cool drink, and find a good place to watch the game.
And I think they have all 3 right there. A little bit of candy, a little bit of soda.
Nothing like ballpark food.
Well, especially on a day like this. Here's what Kiefer has done so far. 83 pitches as we start the 6th inning, 50 for strikes. And a very good ratio of curves and fastballs has really kept the hitters for the Blue Devils guessing this afternoon in this state championship game.
high pitch count because of all those strikeouts. He has not walked anyone. He's run some deep counts. He is on pace right now for 115 pitches should he go the distance. He has a 2-0 lead going to the 6th inning. Top of the Sharpsville order, Justin Napotnick, Jason Scott, Jeff Donatelli. Good curveball from Kiefer. 0-1 to Napotnick, who has one of the 3 hits on the afternoon. It was an infield single leading off the ball game.
And a good start in the pitch sequence. You have to be up there looking something fast. Fastball, hard-breaking curve, and you start with a slow curve.
Right back with the fastball. He should be paying taxes on the outside corner because he has lived there all day. 0-2 the count.
Well, the Blue Devils on the corner of the state in western Pennsylvania near Ohio, and Kiefer on the corner of the plate.
Hits the target, but that target was out of the zone. That was right in the glove of Wojtowicz, but not chasing.
Yeah, this is a good job by Napotnick to lay off that pitch, because first of all, you're not going to do anything with it, and it isn't a strike.
Napotnick will go to Teal next year to play football, class valedictorian. High chopper, Myers colliding with Murdoch, and the throw is late. Sliding in with another infield single is Napotnick.
Well, this is a difficult play and a little miscommunication in the infield between Myers and Murdoch. This, I would imagine, has got to be the shortstop's ball. He's there, even though it's way over at second base, and the shortstop, if he can get to it, and they simply, I think the second baseman, Murdoch, figured there's no way the shortstop could get over there, because that was really just a ground ball to second.
Myers had all his momentum going toward first, so in that respect, maybe a little easier for him, but as you said, it's right at the second baseman, and it's a pretty easy play for him, too. So they collide and get nothing out of it. Second hit of the day for Napotnick, and the 4th for Sharpsville.
And oftentimes that's the kind of a play that can trigger a rally. You get a little bit of a break like that because it should have been the first out of the inning, and instead you get a man aboard now with nobody out, and especially since he was ahead of Napotnick 1-2.
Jason Scott has been retired on a bunt, back to the mound, and he has flied to right in his 2 at-bats.
Now, are you playing sacrifice bunt here? That's the question. You're down 2 runs. Do you try to buy one of them back here and move a guy into scoring position?
I don't think you bunt to get close. I think you have to try to get a couple runs here.
Those are the decisions Kurt Skarba has to make right now as his team down to 6 outs.
Not bunting was Scott. 1-0 the count as the curve misses. There is Kirk Skarpa. The count, missing very high with the fastball. Tying run at the plate. Jason Scott steps out momentarily. Fastball in for a strike. 2-1 the count with Napotnick on first and nobody out.
One of the things that's been a little confusing this afternoon, the home plate umpire with a rather late kind of a call. It's reminiscent of an old National League umpire, Chris Pellicudis.
Chasing ball 3 and the count is even at 2-2. It's very tough to lay off that pitch, but you swing at something like that from Kiefer and you're really helping him out. This guy's tough enough, and when you're swinging at pitches out of the zone, you're really asking for trouble. This one will spin foul, keeping the count 2-2 to Jason Scott.
Well, you have to be very selective up there, and you don't have a whole lot of time to decide to be selective with that pitch bearing down on you. And then when he changes pace with a good curveball or maybe even that changeup, which he's thrown 3 or 4 of this afternoon, and you can see right now Ryan Kiefer really just trying to dig down deep and see what he's got left. You know he's tired out there. He's thrown a lot of pitches, but his team needs him right now, and he's got to bear down. This is an especially critical time of the game.
Late swing in that fastball, but Scott got a piece of it. Stays alive and will make Kiefer throw another one. Outfield is way around toward right center against Scott. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Now time called by Scott. Kirk Skerpa did not bunt. I mean, he feels this possibly is the only chance his team is going to get. He does not want to give away an out in this situation. It's now a full count. Now his decision is whether or not he starts Napotnik from first on the full count, no out pitch.
And a decision here for Ryan Kiefer. What do you come with 3-2? He came with a 2-2 curveball. He just missed it. Let's see what he comes with here. I would think he'd throw him a fastball.
Runner does not go, and it's ball 4. Fastball away. First walk allowed by Kiefer. Tying runs aboard with nobody out. Now maybe you bunt to get both in scoring position.
Well, Donatelli is the next hitter. Remember, he had a triple his last time up. That only really solid hit on the day against Ryan Kiefer of the 4 hits. And here to the mound now will come the manager, Randy Young. And the first thing he's going to want to find out is, first of all, how do you feel, big guy, at the mound? But second of all, he's got his whole infield there. They're going to figure out how the rotation play will work if a bunt is coming.
And if they rotate too much, Donatelli might just pull the bat back and try and slug one through the infield.
Remember, with the rotation play, your shortstop normally is coming to second base. Your third baseman's coming in. Your second baseman might be heading to first. You create all kinds of openings, and a ground ball might produce a run and really set up a big inning.
And if you go the other way and spin the wheel in the opposite direction, the shortstop will go to third, second baseman goes to first, and the entire middle of the field is wide open. So they're going over their bunt defense, and I'm sure Kirk Skerpa talking to Donatelli about what to do depending on what he sees from the defense.
The strategy of baseball, and this is where it really comes into play in the next to last inning of a championship game, the 6th inning in a 7-inning game.
2-0 Southern Columbia. Sharpsville threatening. Donatelli not showing bunt, and the curve is way off the plate for ball 1. The triple was ripped over the head of Jason Brobst in left, starting the 4th. And Kiefer went ground out to the mound, strikeout to end the inning. 2-0 as the fastball misses.
That was his 97th pitch of the day, and we're in the 6th inning.
So he was on pace for 115. He is way above that right now. Got that fastball over to make it 2-1 to Donatelli, who looked like he was taking all the way.
Yeah, absolutely taking that pitch, and just threw him a fastball, which was very hittable. This will be an interesting pitch right here. I would think you have to come back with a fastball. You don't want to fall behind 3-1.
He does. Donatelli hits it sharply the other way, but slices it foul. 2-2 the count with Glenn Morris waiting on deck.
See, now if you're the pitcher, Ryan Kiefer, you can probably throw a curveball. And really, this is, from what we've seen this afternoon, the most dangerous hitter in the lineup with that triple. And you might want to just throw the curveball. Last time he tried a 2-2 to Scott, he was low and very outside with it. Let's see what happens here.
Changeup, high and tight. Threw him a 2-2 change and missed badly with it. It's a full count. Yeah, see that ball going the other way into the right-hander. It's the kind of movement the changeup has.
Just didn't get over the top of that pitch. He's getting tired right now.
Runners don't go. Donatelli with an infield fly if it's a fair ball. It is a foul ball caught by Jason Mills, the third baseman, for out number 1. That is a big out for Ryan Kiefer.
Well, he really worked hard on Donatelli, and if he had lost him, that would have been devastating. Instead, he gets him to pop up. You also have to consider one other option. Perhaps a double steal here would be a little risky, but it would bring runners into scoring position.
Since they weren't moved along, still first and second, now 1 out. There are your runners. They are the tying runs. 2-0 Southern Columbia, top of the 6th inning.
And this is only the 3rd time all afternoon that the Blue Devils have had a man in scoring position against Ryan Kiefer.
Morris struck out his first time. Sees another curveball. Strike 1. His last time up, he got a 3-2 curveball and tapped that one back to Kiefer. Donatelli had to hold at third.
And a lot of pitches, a lot of hard work out there by Kiefer.
Tap to the left side. Myers with a tough play will try and get one out of it, and he does, to Murdoch, the second baseman. So they keep a force in order at second and get out number 2 in the inning. Good decision by Myers and Murdoch.
Good decision by Myers. He took his time. He knew there was no chance to get a double play. And Murdoch at second gives him a nice target, almost like a first baseman's target, knowing there's not going to be any chance to relay the ball. This is not an easy play. It took a pretty decent hop for him, and the second baseman stretched out there. And looks like the runner caught his ankle coming down, but well, the game may just turn on this play. This is the best shot the Blue Devils have had all day.
Runners on the corners with 2 down for Matt Fleischer, who has struck out both times. Nice job by Murdoch not to try and force that ball to first base and maybe throw it away. He got the out and got off the bag. Outside with a changeup, 1-0 to Fleischer. Tying runs aboard, go ahead run at the plate.
Well, he's thrown 2 changeups in this inning, and the last 2 have missed badly. We'll see if he comes back here with a fastball.
Tie for a ball, 2-0.
And again, once that ball begins to come up in the strike zone, usually an indication that you're not getting the leg drive necessary. You're not getting over on top of the ball. And oftentimes, as pitchers tire, their pitches will rise in the zone.
Morris, the runner on first. Fleischer right on that fastball, sent it straight back to the screen. It's 2-1.
Not throwing nearly as hard right now, and Sharpsville just hoping that one of their hitters can time that fastball and drive it into a gap somewhere, maybe get this game tied. This is a real gutsy effort by Ryan Kiefer, because I think in any kind of a regular season game, he would be out of there. But right now, a lot of hopes riding on this young man, and he's the main guy, and he's going to finish this thing.
Curveball down and in. Tried the breaking pitch behind in the count and falls behind a little more. It's 3-1 to Fleischer. Napotnik on third. Morris on first. Fastball catches the inside corner for a strike. It's a full count, so now Morris will be off on the pitch with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. They're going to play behind him at first. Porter will back off, which takes away some of the hole between first and second. First baseman behind the runner. Just outside with a fastball. Kiefer again on his way to the dugout. Thought he had strike 3, and the bases are loaded. Second walk allowed by Kiefer, both in this inning.
No, that's a ball, definitely. The pitcher, you see him running to the dugout. He thought it was strike 3. And Kiefer looking back at the home plate umpire, kind of a glare back there, and bases loaded right now, Steve.
Brad Miller, the batter, looking to put the ball in play for the first time today. And he does. Right to the third baseman, Mills. He'll go the long way, and Kiefer gets out of the bases loaded jam. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 3 stranded. 6 left on thus far for the Blue Devils. They trailed 2-0 after 5.5 innings. This high school championship telecast is made possible by Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies, which carry PCN on their channel lineup. If you like PCN's extensive coverage of high school state finals, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting Pennsylvania's championship network and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience. Now Kiefer gets himself out of the jam and keeps it a 2-0 ball game.
And what's interesting now is he'll have to lead off this inning. So normally you would want your pitcher in the dugout, especially with the amount of pitches that he has thrown here this afternoon, get a chance to maybe sit down, put the jacket on, relax a little bit. But in this case, he's batting second in the order today, one of the better hitters on this team, and he'll have to bat to open the inning and then go out there in the 7th inning with a state championship in the offing.
In the 7th, he'll be facing the bottom third of the order. Jack Hardesty, Rich Skibo, and Jeff Watson scheduled to hit for Sharpsville in the 7th. Sharpsville is out hitting Southern Columbia 4-2, but the Tigers with the game's lone runs, an unearned run in the 2nd And then another run in the third on Brett Meyer's RBI single. Really that play leading off the 6th inning where the shortstop Myers and the second baseman Murdoch collided, which should have been an out, really forced Kiefer to throw a lot more pitches in that inning.
And of course, he thought he was done in the inning when he threw a 3-2 pitch to Matt Fleischer. He thought it was a strike. The umpire said ball 4, and a couple extra pitches were necessary to retire Brad Miller. But right now, Kiefer, you know there's no way in this world that he's coming out of this game. He's the meal ticket, and he's going to go out there no matter how tired he is in this inning.
He would like to get something going here to perhaps pad the lead a little bit.
And it has to be disappointing for the Blue Devils in the top of that 6th inning. You load the bases. You also had a situation earlier in the game. You had a runner at third with nobody out. And if you don't take advantage against a guy like Kiefer, you just don't get that many chances.
Yeah, they have stranded 6 base runners in the game. 5 of them have been in scoring position. So they have had some opportunities. They are 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position in the ballgame.
And you have to credit a lot of that to Kiefer, who's really borne down hard when he's in trouble.
And he will get something going here in the 6th inning with a ground single through the box. He's 1 for 3. Last time up, he nearly had an extra base hit, but Jack Hardesty made a running catch in left center. Kiefer, a .468 hitter, gets the 3rd hit, and he will come out. Pinch runner at first is Anthony Chekevitz.
And of course, if ever the pinch running rule that you see in PIAA high school sports and baseball comes into play, it's giving your pitcher a chance to sit down after he gets a base hit, because if he had to run out there on the bases as tired as he is, that would not be a good thing for him.
Absolutely. So he gets a hit and gets the bonus of going back to the dugout. Matt Porter trying to sacrifice. He has hit a fly ball each of his first 2 times up.
I think pitchers in the National League would love to have that.
Absolutely. This one put down nicely. Miller, the catcher, makes the throw to first. Morris covering. Sacrifice 2-3 for out number 1. The runner moves into scoring position. It's 2-0 Southern Columbia looking for more.
Well, this Brad Miller has made some nice plays today. He's thrown out 2 base runners trying to steal, and here you have to call your pitcher off. The catcher's the one that has to take charge right there. He's the one coming toward the ball and looking toward first base, and almost a collision there.
Jason Mills, the batter for the Tigers. Chases a curve down and in, 0-1 to Mills, a walk and a pop out. He has scored one of the 2 runs.
Matt Fleischer's done a nice job. He gave up a run in his first inning of work, that run in the 3rd inning, but he settled down nicely. That's the only run he's given up.
Outside with the fastball, 1-1 the count. Anthony Chekevitz, the pinch runner at second with 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Southern Columbia up 2-0, looking for some more. 3 outs away from a Class A state championship. Good changeup by Fleischer. Mills out in front, it's 1-2. I don't think we've seen that knuckleball that we were told about. The game's a little too tight to be experimenting with the knuckleball.
Maybe one knuckleball
Maybe one,
all
yeah.
day, if indeed that was maybe a changeup.
Had him way out in front again. Miller will have to throw to first because the ball bounced up there. Now heading for third is Chekevitz, and he slides in ahead of the throw by Morris.
Well,
So it's a strikeout for out number 2, but the runner goes to third.
And that's a real heads-up play, and you can't blame the catcher, Brad Miller, because he looked the runner back, but then the runner took off anyway. Watch this throw across the infield. You be the judge at home. This was a very close play, and, well, we get the tail end of it, and the umpire right there had a good view of it and calls it safe.
Yeah, James Droz right there saying the foot got under the tag. Matt Caskey ducks under a curveball that crosses the plate for strike 1. Caskey fly to center his last time up. Put down a nice bunt for a sacrifice in his first trip. 2 outs in the inning. Curve is high, it's 1-1. Well, you made Sharpsville throw 2 times. twice there, and they were both long throws. And they couldn't get the second one in time, so you get a runner 90 feet away. Curveball drops in again for a strike. It's 1-2. So now you put the pressure on Miller. He has to block everything. You don't want to let that third run score.
And again, you talk about fundamentals, a strikeout where you have to throw down to first base. If you don't have to throw, nobody advances.
That curveball is fouled away third base side. It stays 1-2 to Matt Caskey. Had a look at the pinch runner Chikevitz at third, taking his lead in foul territory. There he is, off the line. Therefore, if the ball hits him while he's in foul territory, it's a foul ball instead of being an out if he were in fair territory. Into left center, Skibo, the center fielder, over to his right. Nice sliding backhanded catch to end the inning. Rich Skibo with a good play to keep it a 2-0 ball game. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. We go to the 7th inning. It's the last chance for Sharpsville. They trail Southern Columbia in the Class A state championship game by a score of 2-0.
Trying to get to the corner, has a big hole, he's gone. Look out, it's a foot race. Jones with a state championship, bringing it 20, 15, 10, 5. Hello, Gold Meadow, Tyrone. He just went 92 yards for a touchdown.
Tune in to PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship football in December, live on PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network. PCN profiles Pennsylvania Senator Frank Salvatore, Majority Caucus Secretary, Sunday night at 10. PCN tours the Norfolk Southern Conway Freight Yard. Located north of Pittsburgh, the 5-mile-long Conway Yard receives and sorts 6,000 cars a day. Sunday at 8. PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball continues on PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network.
Last chance for Sharpsville, trailing 2-0 to Southern Columbia as we go to the top of the 7th at Riverside Stadium. Randy, it's a bird, it's a plane,
It's Mr. Sharpsville himself. He's got the S on the back, and that's not Superman. That's not a Superman bill, but he was trying to get the Sharpsville faithful up on their feet. And right now, the bottom third of the order, one more chance. Let's take a look at the out that ended this inning. Watch a little bit of the confusion. Watch Caskey kind of look for a moment at his left fielder. He took his eye off the ball momentarily, and then he had to make the play. And I'm sorry, that's not Caskey. That is Skibo. My apologies, but he took his eye off the ball for just a moment. He thought the left fielder might have a shot at it.
Jack Hardesty leading off. Kiefer misses with the fastball. Last couple innings have been a struggle for Kiefer. He walked 2 last inning, pitched out of a bases-loaded jam. Hardesty is flied to right, grounded to first on a good play by Porter. Fouled to the screen, 1-1 the count. That was pitch number 112 on the afternoon and morning, since we started at 11 a.m. here, an early wake-up call for Southern Columbia and Sharpsville. Kiefer went the distance in the Eastern Final, trying to do the same in the state final. Curve is outside for a ball. He didn't like the call, but the pitch was off the plate. 2-1 the count.
And you have your catcher kind of turning around, Wojtovich, a freshman, and he'll learn not to do that too long. Umpires hate that when a catcher turns around. You can argue all you want as long as you're looking out to the mound.
Wojtovich gives this one a look. It's on the grandstand roof. It's 2-2. I think Kiefer's going to learn, too, as he gets into minor league baseball, if he does indeed sign with the Orioles, that running off the mound and it's not called strike 3, professional umpires don't take to that too kindly.
It's just a matter of seasoning, and these are high school kids, and they're in the heat of battle trying to win a state championship 3 outs away. And
he's going to run off the mound with a lot of called third strikes in his career.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Oh, there's one right there. What a hook.
Oh, wow. That's a great pitch, an unhittable pitch. You're up there, you're looking for 90 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you see something about 75 that breaks like this, and the hitter just frozen at the plate. All he can do is watch it. Not only is that a great curveball with movement, but right at the knees.
8 strikeouts for Kiefer, 1 down here in the 7th. Rich Skibo, who just made the nice catch, stands in. 0 for 2 on the day. Fastball drilled in there. Right now, he's not trying to hit corners. He's just trying to get the ball over the plate and get ahead.
Now, Kirk Skerpa told us about the fact that he likes his kids because they put the ball in play. They've got to get base runners right here. They've got to get a couple of slap hits any which way they can.
Outside with the curve, it's 1-1.
You almost have to look for a pitch with this guy. You almost have to be thinking curveball or fastball, and if you don't get that pitch, well, just look for the next one.
2-1 the count to Skibo. Kiefer taking some extra time between pitches. Working on a 4-hit shutout. Skibo had a pretty good cut at a fastball, fouling it back, 2-2 the count. Southern Columbia has shut out the opposition 4 times this season. Sharpsville has not been shut out all year. Its lowest run total in a game, 3, done 3 times. 2-2 the count. Curve got away from Kiefer, it's 3-2. Now up to 120 pitches.
It's a good day's work right now, and we're only in the 7th inning, but he's there for the duration.
And he gets his 9th strikeout. Fastball on the outside corner at the knees.
Now you start playing baseball in the state of Pennsylvania as you see this pitch right on the corner at the knees. Steve, you start playing baseball when there's snow on the ground in Pennsylvania, and you work for this moment 1 out away. And if you're a pitcher, I mean, his antenna has to be sky high right now, the adrenaline flowing. And if you're Sharpsville now, here's your number 9 hitter. You just try to keep the season alive.
Jeff Watson trying to keep this game going. He does have 1 of the 4 hits. Chases that curveball for strike 1.
Did him a favor there because that pitch was nowhere close to a strike.
The 0-1. Again, off the plate, nothing into the count. Kiefer trying to end it in grand fashion by striking out the side for his 10th of the afternoon.
And the fans really getting into it on the first base side right now. They can sense a state championship in the offing.
0-2 the count. To the right side, and it gets through for a base hit, keeping the ball game alive. Jeff Watson with his 2nd hit of the game, and the 5th for Sharpsville. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Justin Napotnick, the top of the order.
And again, that's what you talk about when you talk about just slapping the ball, just putting it in play, trying to get on base. Wasn't hit very hard. It was hit the opposite way, but it is a base runner. And that's what Sharpsville needs right now. They need somebody else to get on base and then maybe an extra base hit to tie the game.
Napotnick has 2 of the hits as well. Fastball is high. It's 1-0. Both his hits infield singles in the 1st and 6th innings. He's also flied to center. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1.
They continue to hold the runner on over at first base. He won't be trying to steal a base here, but you don't want him to get a big jump.
Curveball, low and away, it's 2-1. 2-0 Southern Columbia. Top of the 7th, 2 outs, a runner on first for Sharpsville. Sharpsville trying to keep its season alive. Check swing, he lays off the high fastball. They want to appeal it to first. Terry Deal says no swing, 3-1 the count. Kiefer getting set for pitch number 129 today. It is on the outside corner.
Boy, that late strike call. Now, he's probably saying strike or ball so the catcher and the batter can hear, but then the late reaction kind of drives the crowd a little bit crazy because you're not sure what it is, especially where the ball is.
Watson goes in the 3-2 pitch. That's the ball game as Kiefer strikes out the side and jumps off the mound as he finishes with 10 punch-outs, and Southern Columbia is the 2000 Class A state champion in Pennsylvania.
What a great moment for Southern Columbia as their star pitcher Ryan Kiefer ends up striking out the side. And again, that last pitch he threw, 130 of them, and a great pitch right on the outside corner. And there's a well-deserved championship celebration as the Tigers have done it. And our congratulations to Sharpsville as well. They were outstanding this afternoon. They actually limited the Tigers to just 3 hits, but those 2 early runs did them in.
Sharpsville stranding 7 base runners in the game, going 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. But as Randy said earlier, that goes to Ryan Kiefer for pitching in those tough situations and not allowing Sharpsville to get on the board. And he jumped off the mound before strike 3 was called there because he knew that one was definitely in the zone as he strikes out the side in the top of the 7th inning, right on target. And watch, he jumps right away. Before the umpire comes up with the right arm, Kiefer and Myers know that the gold is theirs.
And there's the celebration that you live for as a baseball player, the ability to come out and mob your pitcher knowing the state championship in the bag.
Great job today by both these clubs. Sharpsville out of the West, but a little too much Ryan Kiefer here today. His line, 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. He threw 130 pitches, 76 strikes, and 54 balls. Southern Columbia getting an unearned run in the 2nd and then tacking on another run in the 3rd on a Brett Myers RBI single. We're going to get ready for the award ceremony here at Riverside Stadium as Sharpsville will collect the silver medals and the runner-up trophy, and Southern Columbia claims the gold with the state championship in Class A.
Well, Sharpsville had opportunities today. They left 7 men on base. They had 3 opportunities with runners in scoring position, including loading the bases in the 6th inning. They had a leadoff triple in the 4th inning and could not score a run. And instead, it was the Tigers who made the best use of their scoring opportunities, an unearned run in the 2nd inning, and then an RBI single by Brett Myers to score the 2nd and final run. And when you have a guy on the mound like a Ryan Kiefer, usually you can get by with a couple of runs, and that's exactly what happened here this afternoon.
And he actually didn't get all that stronger as the game wore on, but he made some good pitches when he had to. And like a Maddox or a Pedro Martinez, it seems like when you get him in trouble, it's the worst thing he can do. He gets mad and starts making better and better pitches. And 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position, showing that here today.
And so competitive and so feisty was Kiefer in those late innings. He really wanted it. And he got the job done, 10 strikeouts, including the last one that clinches a state championship.
And right now I believe we're going to join the public address announcer for the PIAA, Bob Schellenberg, as we have the award ceremony here for Sharpsville, the silver medalists and the runner-up trophy. And let's join Bob Schellenberg right now.
We'll present the medals to his players. We ask Coach Kurt Skerpa, please, to begin with Justin Napotnick, Jason Scott, Jeff Donatelli, Glenn Morris, Matt Fleischer, Brad Miller, Jack Harnesty, Richie Skibo, Jeff Watson, Brandon Pavone, Brad Allen, Ryan Kadelko, Josh Siege, Blaze Iorio, Adam Dye. Ray Rotel. Matt Supple. Brandon Nichols. Assistant coach, Bob Donatelli. Assistant coach, Sean Davis. Assistant coach, Scott Scuba. Assistant coach, Mike Veras. High school principal, Andrew Polis. Athletic director, Walt Karsinovich. And Blue Devil head coach, Kirk Skurpa. And now we'd ask that these seniors please step forward as PIAA Associate Executive Director Dr. Robert Lombardi presents you with the year 2000 PIAA Class A runner-up trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Devils of Sharpsville High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing for the very first time, the year 2000 PIAA champion, Southern Columbia Tigers. Will Hendricks, District 4 baseball chairman, conducting our award ceremony. Head coach Randy Young presenting the medals to Kyle Kiefer, Ryan Coleman, Paul Zanarchek, Jason Probst, Ryan Kiefer, Matt Murdoch, Brandon Hoy, Mark Wojtovich, Drew Hampton, Justin Adams,
two of them.
Kevin Sabocek,
The old man drew me out of a man's field.
Matt Caskey, Jason Breach, Jason Andrus, Brett Meyer, Matt Porter, Jason Mill, Anthony Chukevich, Chad Sober, Donald Spots, Rob Shute, Jason Minnick, Phil Schleter, Josh Schleter, assistant coaches Devin Knorr, assistant coach Gary Wilson, and Southern Columbia Tiger head coach, congratulations, Randy Young. And now we need Ryan Kiefer, Brett Myers, Paul Nazarchek to please step forward as you are now presented by Mr. Will Hendricks, District 4 baseball chairman, the year 2000 PIAA Class A championship trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers of Southern Columbia High School. Congratulations.
Southern Columbia, the 2000 Class A state champs in Pennsylvania, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 left. For Sharpsville, no runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 7 left. Ryan Kiefer goes the distance, striking out 10 in his 7 innings for the win. The loss to Jeff Donatelli. For my partner, Randy Stevens, our entire crew, and special thanks to those from the PIAA and PCN for helping us out today. I'm Steve Degler saying so long from Riverside Stadium, where Southern Columbia wins Game 1. The Class A Championship, 2-0 over Sharpsville. Stay tuned. Game 2, the AA final, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
You've been watching PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Baseball on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network. PCN's presentation of high school championship sports is underwritten by Montgomery County Community College. Education equals MC cubed. Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies, delivering local, state, and national sports programming. Homework Help on PCN, televised homework assistance for primary and secondary school students. And by a grant from James J. Duratz and Helene Barco Duratz.
Montgomery County Community College, which is situated outside of Philadelphia, is partnering with the Pennsylvania Cable Network to provide high-quality telecourse options to citizens throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you're not aware of what telecourses are, you need to simply think about Ken Burns' documentaries, such as the Civil War, baseball. High quality, informative, very interesting, and it's an easy, convenient way for a citizen to take one of our college courses. What's nice about this format is that you can enroll in these courses and complete them in the comfort of your own home and when your schedule permits. Also, we have an 800 number that provides you with such services as financial aid information, advising, counseling. You can even order your books through 800 number. We encourage you to call us and see how you can be successful taking courses, credit courses, with our telecourse program.
Hello, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We're delighted to join with you in celebrating high school athletics in the Commonwealth. Everything that we do here at PCN, from our daily coverage of the General Assembly to programs exploring manufacturing, from carriage of significant Pennsylvania events to our satellite distribution across the state. All of this is made possible by Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies, which carry our network on their channel lineup. Often at PCN, we'll list the names and service areas of local cable TV providers. These are the community-minded companies which voluntarily pay a monthly fee to cover network programming and operating costs. PCN receives no state funding. We are supported instead through the generosity of cable systems which make PCN available to their subscribers. In watching high school sports on PCN, we hope you'll remember the commitment of Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies. They're the ones that make this network and today's programming possible.
Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour interactive call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12. State-certified teachers will work through math and science questions with students.
5x times 3 gives you 15x. And Jesse, what do you get if you add the 2x and the 15x together?
17x.
That's exactly what you want.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sundays beginning September.
I'm James J. Duratz of the Pennsylvania Cable Network, and I'm here with my wife Helene today because we have some exciting news on the sports program. And Helene, I got to tell you that I'm really shocked that you're here to talk about sports because you're constantly complaining about too much sports on programs and you can't get me to do anything.
Well, Jim, would you like me to give you an explanation to that?
Yes, I would.
In my view, too many sports events today are based on salaries and other cash considerations. There is no spirit. With these high school championship games, And remember, Jim, we'll be viewing the telecast of the girls' events for the first time.
Yep.
You see spirit, enthusiasm, the desire to win, just good fellowship at its very, very best.
And remember, Helene, this is the championship games we're talking about, and it could be the last hurrah for so many of these young men and women to represent their schools.
That's a very interesting point, Jim. Why don't we take this opportunity to invite our good Pennsylvania friends to join us in viewing the championship games of both our young men and women on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN.
Sounds like a wonderful idea, Helene.
Good, we'll see you all there.
The PIAA is a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Membership includes most of the public and many private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The PIAA develops and enforces rules which are authorized by the member schools to regulate interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA was formed in 1913 by a group of high school principals to establish uniform rules, eliminate abuses, and place interscholastic athletics in the overall context of secondary education. The purposes of the PIAA are defined in Article 2 of its Constitution. They are to organize, develop, and direct an interscholastic athletic program which will promote, protect, and conserve the health and physical welfare of all participants, to formulate and maintain policies that will safeguard the educational values of interscholastic athletics and cultivate the high ideals of good sportsmanship, and to promote uniformity of standards in all interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, a system which recognizes that athletics is not the driving force, but rather that students are in school primarily to obtain an education. The membership of the PIAA consists of approximately 1,300 schools, divided almost equally between senior high schools and junior high middle schools. Of that membership, approximately 150 are private schools. Nearly 250,000 students participate in interscholastic athletics under the PIAA each year, placing Pennsylvania 7th in the United States for the 1997-98 school year. The four major areas in which the PIAA currently operates are the following: establishment and enforcement of rules governing the eligibility of high school athletes to participate in interscholastic athletics. These include rules for academic performance, attendance requirements, transfer students, pre-participation physical evaluations, age, and amateur status. Organizing and operating 27 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 10 girls' sports, and 31 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 11 boys' sports. Adopting the playing rules for each sport under its jurisdiction, with the exception of bowling, golf, girls lacrosse, rifle, and tennis. All other playing rules adopted by the PIAA are published by the National Federation of State High School Associations, of which the PIAA has been a member since 1925. Registering and training officials to officiate at contests in which the PIAA member schools participate. Nearly 13,000 officials are currently registered with the PIAA. The PIAA's principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to its playoffs and championships. Gate receipts enable the PIAA to operate without taxpayer financing. The PIAA also provides services to its members on a day-to-day basis through its headquarters in Upper Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The PIAA assists member schools and families by providing the student-athlete with opportunities for achievement.
You're watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies. PCN is supported by Armstrong Cable Services, serving cable subscribers in Meadville and Grove City. PIAA Championships throughout the year exclusively on PCN. In February, team wrestling. In March, individual wrestling and boys and girls basketball. In May, boys tennis. In June, boys volleyball, girls spring soccer, baseball, and softball. In November, girls tennis, girls volleyball, field hockey, and boys and girls soccer. And rounding out the year in December, championship football. For additional high school sporting events, check our webpage at pcntv.com.